they can stop them.
Very emotional crowd when the Rebels came out. They were pumped up. Mississippi State has yet to come onto the field. Their captains are now coming, and Stan will have the captains in a moment. State has not won back-to-back games over Ole Miss since 76-77. Both of those were forfeited, ironically, for recruiting violations. So the last time that counts was 1941-42. So the Dogs trying to win back-to-back for the first time in a long time. And Ole Miss trying to hold serve on this campus situation, Stan. So big game for both clubs.
Oh, no question about it, David. And this is what college football is all about, the intense rivalry. I'm out here at the middle of the field now, and I could just feel it from the Ole Miss fans and the State fans. Ole Miss players came out pretty pumped up, and since it's the final ball game, the captains for Ole Miss will be seniors, and the captains for Mississippi State will be seniors, although some of the players talking for State will be Andre Bennett and Scott Gamina, and for Ole Miss, I would imagine it'll be Abdul Jackson, Alundis Bryce, Jerry Graber, and Big Norman Hand. Tommy Harper is the official. Jimmy Harper, the first time he's been with Ole Miss all year, and he will turn it over to him and pick up his description of the coin toss. Introduction of the players, they'll shake hands.
And the remaining Ole Miss seniors of the Ole Miss captains.
State now coming on the field in the corner over there, to the delight of their fans.
Hold it in the air, that's tails, that's heads. But drop it, we'll flip it again, okay?
Heads.
He said heads, and heads it is. Mississippi State, you win.
We'll receive.
You'll receive which end you want to defend. Put your backs over there. Okay?
Mississippi State won the toss and elected to receive. Ole Miss will kick off. Rebels in blue and gray, maroon and white for the Dogs, David.
Get set for Ole Miss Rebel football in 1 minute on the Mississippi Network.
Ole Miss won the toss. Bird.
Anticipate the unexpected.
Yeah, I don't think they would ever call a game. We had a game delayed 25 minutes over Tuscaloosa this year because of lightning. But I've never known one to be called on account of fog. But it could happen.
Keeper McGee, a redshirt freshman from Crawford, Mississippi, is deep to receive for Mississippi State, and also Eric Molds. State has had 8 different guys returning kicks. The kick is by Walter Grant of Ole Miss. Is taken by one of the up men at the 18, the 20, 25, and hit and stopped shy of the 25, actually at the 23-yard line.
28.
And the tackle is made by Kyron Motton. The return man was Matt Mundy. Or I said the 25 is the 28, shy of the 30-yard line. Actually, Coleman, Shaston Coleman, the senior from Dothan, Alabama, on the recovery. They put it between the 28 and the 29. Mississippi State with the football. First down, first possession for the Dogs. We'll call it the 29-yard line. One back, kind of an offset look in the backfield with a wing back. The give is to that lone back, Michael Davis, and he is stacked up after a couple. Davis is a senior from Morton, Mississippi. He leads the Bulldogs, 172 carries, 790 yards, 9 touchdowns, 58 yards the longest run. All are state best. First time in school history for Mississippi State that 2 backs have rushed for 750 or more yards in the same season, as Kevin Bowie has 755. They'll spot it at the 31-yard line, a gain of 2, second down and 8 for Mississippi State.
Well, they stopped.
Now we have an official's timeout. The 30-second clock on the north end of the field's not working. The one on the south end's turned off. So I guess it's not going to work on either side. Well, we got strangeness already. Yeah. Second down and a short 8 for the 31 for Mississippi State. Molds comes wide right. One back in the backfield is Davis. Rebels show a 4-man front. Got some changes on the defense we'll talk about in a moment. Here's the give to Davis. The flag is down. He sweeps to the right to the 35. Knocked out of bounds around the 39-yard line, close to the first down. If they spot it there, he will have it. The Rebels started Kyron Motton, the 5'11", 210-pound junior from Gardena, California, in Santa Monica Junior College. He draws his first start as an Ole Miss Rebel, and Ed Fortson drew a start along with Hand and Ferguson across the front. You have Nate Wayne and Abdul Jackson as linebackers. Derek Jones, Keith Campbell, David Knott, Michael Lowry, and Alundis Bryce. Antonio Bonner did not draw a start. It's offsides against Ole Miss. Mississippi State will decline it and take the carry to the 39-yard line. Gain of 9 will be first down for the Bulldogs at their own 39. 14-15 to go in the first quarter, no score. We'll check with Stan about this defensive look. 3 down linemen for the Rebels. I formation for Mississippi State. There's the snap. Back to throw is Tate. Lots of time. Far side. Caught at the 44, but tackled immediately is the receiver, Eric Moulds. 37 of 111 of State's completions have gone to Eric Moulds. That's exactly 1/3. They like to throw to him the most. He now has 38 catches on the year, 791 yards coming in. Leads State with 7 touchdown catches and a long gain of 66. That was good for 6. They're going to put it at the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 4. They gave him a pretty good spot. Derek Jones made the tackle along with Keith Campbell. State with a 2nd down and 4 from the 45. 13:36 to go in the first quarter, no score. There's the snap. Looked like movement on the line, and they'll stop this one. Let's go to Stan about the defensive alignment. Stan?
Well, I think it's exactly what you said, David. The Rebels are going basically with 3 down linemen. The rest are linebackers and defensive backs, and I think the reason for that, Joe Lee Dunn is kind of inviting Mississippi State to throw the football rather than use their powerful running game. Illegal procedure against Mississippi State will cost them 5. These are the 2 most penalized teams in the Southeastern Conference. Ole Miss penalized 74 times, counting 1 today. Mississippi State 93 times, counting 1 today.
Well, Mississippi State's right tackle moved that time.
2nd down and a long 9 from the 40-yard line for Mississippi State after the 5-yard penalty. The Rebels show 5 across the front here. Oh, Huck Ferguson jumps. Let's see if there's going to be a flag against the Rebels. Davis, right side. He's got room. The 45 to midfield. To the Rebel 48-yard line is knocked down there. There is no flag. Apparently Ferguson went with the snap, but it was close. Abdul Jackson made the tackle for Ole Miss. He leads the Rebels with 124. Leads Ole Miss with 70 solo stops. He leads the SEC, in fact, in total tackles. Keith Campbell helped on the stop, but it's good enough for a first for Mississippi State to the Rebel 47-yard line.
Nothing fancy on Mississippi State's part. They're just lining up and coming at them.
1 back again in the backfield. 12:48 to go, clock running. Ole Miss showing a blitz. They give us to Davis, who's sweeping to the left side, has a stiff arm on Alundis Bryce, gets to the 45, and then shoved out of bounds around the 42-yard line, a gain of about 5.
I tell you what Alundis Bryce is going to have to do. He can't tackle Michael Davis up high. He's going to have to get out around his feet to get him down, because Michael Davis had a stiff arm on Bryce that time, and there was no way he could get to it.
So Mississippi State at the Rebel 42-yard line with a 2nd down and 5. Mississippi State has had the ball the entire way so far. Started at their own 29-yard line. 12:40 to go here in the first quarter. No score. 2nd and 5. The lone back. The give is to him. Davis, who steams ahead and dives to the 40. Has a couple of yards. 3rd down and 3 coming up for Mississippi State. That time, Huck Ferguson, the senior from Willows, California, and Ed Fortson, the JUCO transfer from Highland Community College out of St. Louis, Missouri, combined for the stop. Well, let's see if the Rebs can hold them here. 3rd down and a short 3. Kevin Bowie is in the backfield for State, the senior from Pahokee, Florida. Both had over 100 yards rushing in the Alabama game, Bowie and Davis. 3rd down and a long 2 from the Rebel 40-yard line. Tate takes the snap, looks back, nobody there to hand it to, looking to throw, lofts it this way. It's going to be picked off by Alundis Bryce. He threw it up for grabs toward Eric Moulds, and Bryce picks it off at the 25, right in front of Stan.
I tell you what, David, great play by Bryce. He saw the ball going to be overthrown over Moulds, and Alundis did a great job after catching the ball to keep his feet in bounds to give us possession. Big play by Bryce, his 6th interception of the season, the 7th thrown by Derek Tate.
Michael Lowry had a nice rush in the backfield. I think Tate wanted to hand that ball. It looked like both of his backs went away from him. Rebels with the ball. They put it officially at the 24-yard line. 1st down. Here's a quick hitter left side to Preston to the 30. And pushed out of bounds at the 35. 1st down, Ole Miss. On the tackle, Charlie Davidson and Mike James, the cornerback and linebacker. James is the 2nd leading tackler on the team with 96 behind Dwayne Curry, who has 113. Davidson, 7 interceptions in the last 12 regular season games. They're going to spot it at the 36. So a quick hitter to Preston. He races forward for the 1st down. Roel only had 1 catch in the Tulane game. That was good for 12 yards there. 11:44 to go in the first quarter, no score. Thomas is in motion to the far side. Ball to near hash. Quick hitter to Thomas, low, incomplete. Tried to hit him out of the motion. Led him a little bit too much. Second down and 10 coming up for the Rebs.
Yeah, that ball was really around his feet, and so there was no chance for that play to be successful whatsoever.
Lee-May Thomas just didn't have a chance to make the grab, the junior from Delhi, Louisiana. Rebels bring in Eli Anding for Chris Mangum. Anding, the redshirt freshman from New Albany, Mississippi, is in the slot to the right as a double slot. 4 receivers with a lone back, Dew Innocent. Second and 10 from the 36-yard line. State shows a 3-man front, now 5-man front. Nelson trying to change the play at the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. He's back to throw. He's in trouble and grabbed immediately. Absolutely nobody checked Corey Sears, the junior from Universal City, Texas, and Navarro Community College, came right through. He leads state with 8 pressures and now has a sack to his credit. At the 30, it's a 6-yard loss. Third down for Ole Miss. 3rd and 16. Boy, he got through in a hurry, Stan.
He just came right over the top of Ole Miss's center, shoved him and just grabbed him just about as the ball was snapped, David. Never seen anything like that before.
3rd down and 16 for the Rebels from their own 30. No score, 11:06 to go first quarter. There's the snap. Nelson back to throw. Lots of time. Looking, lots of time. Fires near side. It's complete to Lee-May Thomas. He's out of bounds at the 46. It'll depend upon the spot. I think he got it right on the nose. We'll have to wait and see. They're bringing it out, and we'll place it in. He does have the first down. It's just across the 46-yard line. And that's the key, Lyman. Josh had the time.
Josh had the time, and State did not stay in the same defense that they did the time before. State's trying to give them a different look on defense each time. But if Josh has the time, his receivers will work them way open, and he can deliver the ball.
16 yards to the 46. First down for the Rebels. 4-man front for State. Back to throw is Nelson. Swing pass to Dew Innocent. Innocent in trouble in the backfield. Breaks the tackle. Steams ahead of the 49 and dropped there. Boy, he turned that into positive yardage as Mike James makes the tackle. But in the backfield, Brent Smith, the sophomore from Pontotoc, had him, but couldn't hold on.
I'm going to tell you what, that's close to being a lateral. He's, I guess it was a forward pass that time, but he caught it over his shoulder. It was not a real good pass. If he caught it in stride, he may have made a little more yardage out of it.
3-yard gain to the 49, second down and 7. Dew Innocent came in with 22 catches on the year. Of course, he leads the Rebs with 808 yards rushing, 164 carries is the team best as well. Ball the far hash, back to throw is Nelson. Swings underneath to Roel Preston, breaks the tackle at midfield, up to the 45 of State, and then dropped to the 43, close to another first down. He broke some tackles as Dwayne Curry makes the tackle downfield. The Rebels have yet to run the football. Nelson was sacked. They've thrown it 5 times. So Ole Miss gunning. They may have to measure this one. Stan, so far, you know, we came in think we might see a lot of Dew, but it's been a lot of passing.
Well, I think what the game plan is, David, is obviously to put the ball into that big play people for Ole Miss, and that's the speedy wide receivers. So far, the Rebels have been able to do that. And also, though, not just forget about Dew Innocent as a runner, but get him the ball in the back on a pass like they tried to stretch it out, and it's about the length of the football short of a first down.
So 3rd down. For Ole Miss. Ball just inside the 44. Got to get it to about the 43.5. That was good for about 6 yards. So 3rd down and 1. A very short one, though, for the Rebels. 9:55 to go in the first quarter. Clock is running. No score between Ole Miss and Mississippi State here in Oxford. Rebels stacked in tight. So is Mississippi State. 2 backs in the backfield now. Dew Innocent and Mark Smith. There's the snap to give us to Smith. He's got the first down with ease as he gets to the 42-yard line. James and Curry combine on the stop. A gain of 2. First down, Ole Miss. And the Rebel fans respond. Mark Smith, second on the team in carries, 106. Was leading the team until he had the elbow injury. He's still second in rushing with 432 yards. Tied for the lead with Dew Innocent. Both have 4 rushing touchdowns on the year. Josh Nelson, 269 passes, 151 completions, 56% coming in, 6 interceptions, 13 touchdowns, 1,735 yards. First and 10 from the Mississippi State 42, near hash. The lone back this time is Dew Innocent, slot left, receiver wide right. That gives to Innocent left side. Innocent pulled down at the 40. He'll have 2. Second down and 8. Brent Smith and Mike James did a nice job of filling that hole for the Bulldogs and stopping the progress. Josh Nelson needed 28 yards passing coming in, and he's got 37 to pass Archie Manning's best season. Nelson has just done that. Manning had 1,762 and 69. John Darnell is the record holder way out there, 2,326 in 89. So Nelson has just passed Manning's best year. From the 40, second and 8. Nelson to throw. Steps up, looking downfield, in trouble, and stretches back to the line of scrimmage maybe, and that's about it. He had the time but couldn't find anybody open. Good coverage by the Mississippi State defensive backs. Wesley Leasy makes the tackle, the outside linebacker, senior from Greenville, at the line of scrimmage. In fact, they're going to put it at the 41. We'll call it a loss of 1 and make it third down for the Rebels. Third down and 9. It's a short 9. 8:14 to go here in the quarter. Rebels are 2 of 2 on third downs in this drive. There's the snap. Back to throw is Nelson. Lots of time. He's got Preston. Lost the ball and then almost intercepted. Roel Preston over the middle. Dropped the football. He had it in his hands. It popped up in the air, and Andre Bennett almost picked it off. Incomplete. Fourth down. The Rebels will send the punt team out.
Big yardage play if he holds on to the ball. And Tavoris Fisher was 1-on-1 down around the 15-yard line.
So Roel Preston could not hold it, and he was open over the middle. Walter Grant to punt for Ole Miss, 43-yard average, as long as 57. Took over the punting chores 2 games ago. From the 41 of State, there's the snap. Grant, nice high kick. It's going to be about 4 yards deep in the end zone. State will take over at the 20-yard line. So Mississippi State, Ole Miss, scoreless with 7:55 to go in the first quarter. We've gobbled up a lot of time, yet neither team has scored. We'll be back after we hear from State Farm and Coca-Cola. Mississippi State's second possession begins at the 20-yard line. First down 10, no score, 7:55 to go in the first quarter. The Bulldogs will send Eric Moulds wide right. Wide to the left goes Chris Jones. Offset eye in the backfield for the Bulldogs. Rebels show 3-4 across the front. Now Moulds goes in motion to the far side. Derek Tate takes the snap, gives to his running back. It's Bowie who gets to the 22, stretches to the 23, and that's it. Second down coming up for the Bulldogs is Norman Hand. Leads Ole Miss with 8 pressures. Also has an interception this year. The senior from Walterboro, South Carolina. Defensive tackle on the stop, along with Kyron Martin. Drew his first start. 3-yard gain, second down and 7 now for the Dogs. Kyron Mott was a player the Rebels were hoping would play a lot this year. He had 14 tackles in the Red Blue game, including 10 solos. In junior college, he averaged 12 tackles a game. Second down and 7 for State from the 23. I formation. Back to throw is Tate. Has time, lots of time. Fires far side, Jones, and it is caught at the 46-yard line on an out route, and immediately out of bounds goes Chris Jones. Derek Jones and Keith Campbell on a stop for Ole Miss, but a first down for Mississippi State.
That was just an absolutely perfect throw. He came down with 1 foot in bounds, which is all you have to do, and he immediately went out of bounds. But the coverage was there. It was double coverage, but it was right on the money. 23 yards to Chris Jones, his 12th catch of the year. Junior from Tupelo on the reception. Out to the State 46, first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. One back in the backfield, now man in motion to the near side. Rebels show blitz, here they come, offsides, a flag is thrown, and sliding down as he sweeps right is Kevin Bowie. Lost his traction there, he gained only a couple, but I think it's going to be offsides against Ole Miss. Well, they were trying to time their blitz that time with a snap of the ball, and they were just a little bit out of sync.
So penalty against the Rebels will bring the ball to the Ole Miss 49-yard line, first down. Stan, the Rebs aren't putting a lot of pressure on Tate, so he's going to have time to pass unless we change the package somewhat.
Well, 3 down linemen, David, we don't get much pressure from them. You know, with the linebackers and defensive backs, you're right, we haven't been putting a lot of pressure. I don't know if that's design or not.
3 men across the front of the Rebels. A fourth joins them, standing up on the far side. One back in the backfield. There's the snap. Back to throw is Tate. He's got lots of time. Going deep over the middle to Moulds. And it's one-on-one and knocked away. Nearly intercepted. 3 men were there with Moulds. Moulds had a shot at it, but one of the Rebels got a hand on it. Campbell, Jones, and Bryce were all 3 there. And they are pumped up. The Rebel fans are on the feet. Stan, that's a defensive back's dream to knock that ball out of there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric Moulds is an outstanding receiver, maybe one of the best in the Southeastern Conference. But Bryce and his friends Jones and company were right there, and the ball was well thrown. They just got a hand up there and knocked it away. Moulds did get a hand on it, but was not able to hang on. Good play by the Reb DBs.
So State went for it all on 1st and 5. Now a 2nd and 5 at the Ole Miss 49. 5 men across the front. Lowry's in tight on the left-hand side here for Ole Miss. Antonio Bonner on the other side. Here comes the pressure. Here's the give. It's Bowie. Bowie hit as he gets across the Rebel 45 to the 42-yard line. First down, Mississippi State. Motton and Bonner combine on the stop. Boy, they are a load. Bowie and Davis. First down, Bulldogs.
That's as good a running back tandem probably as there is in the Southeastern Conference. Other teams may have better runners. I don't know. I've not seen any, in my opinion, but they're a good tandem.
We have an injured player on the field. That was a 7-yard gain for a first down. He's coming up now. And they're helping him. It's Keith Campbell dragging a right leg. We're already slim in numbers in that defensive backfield somewhat. Antonio Bonner has been shaken up a little bit as of late, too. So Campbell will lead the ball game, and he's having to be helped stand off the field.
I think it looked like he grabbed his hamstring as he went down, David, and I don't know just how bad it is, but that's what it appears to be, right hamstring. The Rebels will have to come up with another defensive back. David Knott's in there, Bonner, Bryce, Jones, Lowry. Of course, the rest of the linebackers other than Hand, Ferguson, and Fortson.
And Motton and Jackson at linebacker with Nate Wayne. 1st and 10 for Mississippi State at the Ole Miss 42-yard line. No score, 6:12 to go in the first quarter. State sends a man in motion. There's a snap. Give it to the lone back, Bowie. Bowie sweeping left. Is hit by Bonner, pushed out of bounds around the 38-yard line. So a gain of about 4. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Bonner on the tackle just shoved him out of bounds.
State is depending on that good straight-ahead blocking and the outside speed of Bowie and the inside running of Michael Davis. And they're doing an excellent job out of it. Maintaining control of the football, using up a lot of clock. We've got just over 6 minutes to go in the first half.
2nd down and 6 from the Ole Miss 38. 2 receivers wide right, both off the line, tight end right. There's the snap. Give to the running back. Pulled down from behind by David Knott is Kevin Bowie. Knott looped all the way around the backside. The junior from Brandon, Mississippi at Hines Community College getting some playing time today with a nice tackle. And he'll place it at the 37. So a gain of 1. 3rd down and 5 for Mississippi State. It's on about the 36.5. So it's halfway between the 36 and 37. 3rd down for the Dogs. The Rebel fans come to their feet to get behind the defense. State's fans coming to their feet to get behind the offense. Wide out left goes Bernard Ewell, a junior from Jackson for the Bulldogs. Wing back right, 2 tight ends, 1 back in the backfield for Tate. Tate taking a long time on the snap count. Long time. There's the snap. He's going to give to Bowie. Bowie sweeping right, lowers his head and powers across the 30 to the Rebel 29-yard line. That's just power football. 1st down, Bulldogs. Lundus Bryce made the tackle.
He ran right under Lundus Bryce. He hit him right around the midsection and just drove him back. Bryce trying to hit him high and couldn't stop him.
8 yards to the 29 stand, and Bowie really lowered the hit.
Well, they got 2 big backs like you and Lyman been talked about, Bowie and Davis. They take turns. They'll wear you out, and that time it was Bowie delivering the punishment.
1st and 10 for State at the Ole Miss 29 near hash. 2 receivers wide to the left. There's the snap. Counter. The give is to Bowie. Bowie hit at the 26, drives to the 25, to the 24. A gain of 5. Boy, looks like you got him stopped for about 2 or 3, and then you realize he's falling forward for 3 or 4 more. Abdul Jackson on the tackle for Ole Miss. 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 for Mississippi State. Nakia Greer, a redshirt freshman from Hernando, Mississippi, is checked in now for Mississippi State. Eric Moulds is back in, who's been out a while, the junior from Loosedale. 4:22 to go, first quarter, no score between the 2 schools. State with its second possession. Second down and 5 from the 24 of Ole Miss. There's the snap. Tate, play action, looking to throw. Fires far side toward the corner, incomplete. As it was intended for Moulds, Jones had him covered nicely. It'll be 3rd down and 5 from the Ole Miss 24. Good pressure by Norman Hand. May have made Tate throw that one a little bit early.
And I really think he just threw it out of bounds. There was a man down in the area, but he was going to throw it where it could not be intercepted.
Mississippi State is 1 of 2 on 3rd downs. 3rd and 5 coming up now from the Ole Miss 24. Ball's right squarely in the middle of the field. 4:06 to go in the first quarter. Clock is stopped. No score. Moulds goes wide to the left. State's got to get to the Rebel 19, actually the 18 and a half. Rebels showing pressure. Now in motion goes Greer. Tate taking a long time. Rebels show the blitz. Here's the snap. The give is to Bowie. Sweeping left. He breaks a tackle to 20, to 15, and down the sidelines, knocked down at the 11-yard line. First down, Mississippi State. The key is also stand not only Bowie and Davis alone, they've got good speed, especially Bowie.
Well, they've been beating the Rebels to the corners, and you wouldn't expect that with their size, but they got surprising speed. And when they run in the middle, it's awfully hard to find them behind that massive offensive line.
Now, you call that one right. You call that one right. It's hard to find them.
13-yard gain to the 11. They are huge. 316, 327, 278, 358, 328 across the front. From the 11, 1st and 10 for Mississippi State. Bulldogs threatening. The give is to Bowie. Left side, big hole. He's to the 5, to the 4. Fumble! It's loose on the ground. The Rebels claim they have it, and they do! Antonio Bonner with the strip. And Ole Miss stops the Bulldogs inside the 5. Does that not sound familiar? Let's go to Stan.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was trying to get extra yards, David, in battling, and Antonio Bonner just stripped the ball from him. It dropped to the turf, and the Rebels have it. Now we've got a flag out here.
No.
Is it?
They had the flag, picked it up, and said no flag for whatever reason.
Yeah, Jimmy Harper is the official this afternoon, so the Rebels stopped the Dogs for the second time. First by interception, this time by a fumble.
So a break for the Rebels. Only the second possession now for Ole Miss. Will start at the 3-yard line, 1st and 10. Whew, you'll take it, though. Oregon State was looking good running the ball down the field. Slot to the right. Ball at the far hash on the 3. One back. Lone receiver left for Josh Nelson. 5 men across the front. Fisher's in motion to the near side out of the slot. There's the give to Dew Innocent. Dew gets to near the 5. A couple, and that will be it. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, you don't want to try anything fancy down here, although a lot of people have enough confidence in their passing game that they will throw. This was just straight ahead. It looked like if he'd have veered off his left a little bit, there was a nice hole for him to go through, but he already had his mind set up where he was supposed to hit, and that's where he went.
Dew Innocent, as we mentioned, 808 yards rushing, the 6th best season in Ole Miss history. He has 5 straight 100-plus rushing games in 5 starts coming into today. From the 10, 2nd down and 8 for Ole Miss. Ball at the near hash. One back again is Dew Innocent. Receiver wide left, one wide right, both off the line. You have 2 tight ends. There's the give to Dew. Dew over to the 10, to the 12, 1 yard shy of the first down. And you hear the fans stand saying, Dew.
Well, Big Dew got the pretty good blocking between the left guard and the left tackle that time, and nudges it out up to about the 12-yard line. Give the Rebels a little bit more operating room. See if Nelson and this company would elect to put it in the air deep in their own territory.
Well, 3rd down and 1, though, right here from the 12. Let's see if the Rebels try to get the first. Turner and Mangum are in at tight ends. John Knight is in at flanker. All stacked in tight. State's got 8 and 9 across the front. There's the snap. The pitch to Mark Smith. Sweeping left. Lowers his head. First down to the 15-yard line. And they're going to spot it at the 16, it appears. So a first down for Mark Smith.
Well, he got some good blocking from Dew Innocent that time. Dew was set out kind of on the wing. You knew he was in there to block and that Mark Smith was going to get it. But State couldn't afford to load up to the outside because he's a good inside runner as well.
Tackled by Michael Lindsey. It was a 4-yard gain. 1st and 10 for the Rebels at the 16. 2:12 to go in a quarter, no score. Slot to the left. The ball's at the near hash. The slot's on the short side of the field. Receiver wide right. There's a snap. Play action, pass to the near side to Preston. Preston sidesteps the man at the 25 and then out of bounds. Whoa, did he make the defensive back, Charlie Davidson, eat crow. Froze him in his feet, Stan, the senior from Dothan, Alabama, and then raced down the near sidelines to get the first down. Let's go to Stan.
Pretty good move. They got that ball out there to Preston, and he faked to the inside and cut back to the outside and used his speed to get the first down. He was trying to get a block from little Boris Fisher, but elected to go to the outside route.
They put it at the 27, first down for the Rebels, gain of 11 yards. 2:05 to go, clock stopped as Preston was out of bounds. There's a swing pass, the flag is down. The swing pass is to Smith. He's to the 30 and out of bounds on the far sideline around the 34, but a flag was down at the line of scrimmage. Seems like it's a little nervousness, Lyman, along the two lines. A little bit edgy, wanted to get the jump on the other guy.
Well, I think that's right, and it's still early in the game. Still a couple of minutes left in the first quarter, but I don't know, it might be a little motion penalty on foul.
It's offsides, Mississippi State.
All right, okay.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. While we have a break, let's take a station ID. We owe you a station ID here. We'll pause 10 seconds. Oh, the Rebels declined it and took the play. Okay, second down. The Rebels are going to decline it and take the play to the 34-yard line, which is a gain of 7, so 2nd and 3. Nelson pitches left to Smith. He's in trouble and dropped at the 29-yard line. He could not get around Johnny Harris, the senior out of Chicago, Illinois, the strong safety who played at San Bernardino Community College. And now the Rebels are faced with 3rd down and 8 at the 29-yard line. That was a loss of 5. 1:30 to go in the first quarter. State fans in the end zone coming to their feet, hoping the dog defense will hold the Rebels on 3rd and 8. No score. 2 receivers wide right. Nelson to throw. Pressure up the middle, over the middle. He's got Preston complete at the 40. He breaks the tackle. Gets to the 45. Dropped to the 47 or 48. First down, Ole Miss. Well, Roel didn't let that one get away, Lyman.
No, he did not. I'll tell you what. We called attention to the way he runs not 2 or 3 games ago. It's kind of like one of those little topwater bugs that you see when you're in swimming in an old pond when you were a kid. You just can't get a hold of it.
19-yard gain, Stan, for Roel.
He made sure he caught that one, looked it right into his hands, and then cut straight upfield. Good throw, nice catch.
First down at the 48-yard line of Ole Miss. 55 seconds to go in a quarter. One back is Mark Smith. 2 receivers wide right. Preston is one-on-one wide left with Davidson. There's the snap. The give is to Smith. Flag in the Ole Miss backfield. Smith is to the 45, to the 40, to the 35. Has a great run all the way down to the state 31-yard line. But it's coming back. Illegal shift against Ole Miss. So this one will come back.
Yeah, that was thrown right away by Jimmy Harper, the referee of today's game, and he's right. He called it right.
So a 5-yard penalty will make it 1st and 15 for the Ole Miss 43. Mark Smith, Stan, took off a little bit early.
Yep, he moved just a tad too early, and Simon said referee Jimmy Harper threw the flag. Nullifies a fine effort, though, by Mark Smith. Offensive line, so far, they're doing a pretty good job against this big Mississippi State defensive unit.
293, 310, 324 across the front for Mississippi State on defense. 1st and 15 for the Ole Miss 43. Anding is in. Innocent now is in the backfield. There's the snap. There's the wraparound draw to do. Innocent breaks the tackle to the 45 to the 50 into state territory to the 47-yard line as the fans yell, "Do!" Harrison Holloway make the tackle downfield. He slipped the tackle in the backfield, Lyman.
Yeah, I tell you, the timing on that play was very, very good because he was just a fingertip away from being tackled a couple of times, but he made a nice run.
The quarter runs out. Ole Miss is in Mississippi State territory with a 2nd down and 5 when we open the 2nd quarter. We'll be back after this 60-second message from your local yard game for Due Innocent to the Mississippi State 47 is 2nd down and 5 for the Rebels. It's at 47.5. As we open the 2nd quarter, no score between the two schools. There's the snap. Nelson back to throw. Slips it underneath to Lee May Thomas. He's hit in the backfield and then spins underneath, gets to about the 45 and dropped there. Short gain. It'll be 3rd down. Smith and Larry Williams combine on the stop. Williams leads state with 6 sacks. He's a JUCO transfer from Mississippi Delta out of Moorhead. They put it, in fact, on the 46-yard line, so that's going to be a completed pass for only 1. That's that little slip underneath from the wide receiver. 3rd down and 4 for the Rebels from the state 46-yard line. Ole Miss 88 yards total offense first quarter. State 109. There's the snap. Nelson to throw. Lots of time. His pass incomplete. Either Preston ran the wrong route or Nelson threw it the wrong place, because Roel broke back toward the hash stand, and the throw came actually to you.
Yeah, well, Roel went to the inside hash mark, and Josh threw it to the outside. So Bulldogs will stop the Rebs, and Walter Grant will punt. The report on Keith Campbell, according to Leroy Mullins, the head trainer, injured right knee, heavily taped, will not return.
So no more Keith Campbell, and that's unfortunate for Keith, as they had high hopes to use him a good bit this game. There's a high snap. Grant brings it down, punts it away into that fog. Fair catch called for by Gamina. He has it at the 16. Not a real good punt by Grant. 3.8 hang time and only 30 yards. But at the 16-yard line, Mississippi State will have it first down. 3rd possession for the Bulldogs. The Offensive Lineman of the Year award is given each year to the lineman who's number 1 on the field, and in the classroom, the Commuter Group is proud to sponsor this program. New quarterback in for Mississippi State. Darren Clark gets across the 20 to the 25. Is dropped there. A flag flies. State has it first and 10 at the 16. Let's see what the flag's all about. It was thrown in the pack there. Might be against State for holding, but no, looks like they're pointing at Ole Miss. New quarterback Darren Clark. He's a junior from Natchez, Mississippi, 6'1", 188. He's only 10 of 17 through the air this year. 59%. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns, 166 yards. Personal foul against Ole Miss. Personal foul against the Rebels. And Stan, that one hurts.
Personal foul on Ole Miss player. Illegal contact to the head, 15 yards. David, this might be an interesting quarter. It's been the most productive for Mississippi State. 115 of their 328 school record points in the second quarter, but it's also been the stingiest for Ole Miss. They've given up only 33.
So the 15-yard penalty brings us to the State 31. First down for the Dogs. Clark gives left-hand side, and it's Davis who breaks back up to the hash. He breaks in the clear at midfield. He's to the 40 of Ole Miss. He's to the 30. To the 20. Derek Jones pulls him down from behind to the 15. He swept left, stopped, cut back, went down the left hash, found a big hole, and then headed for the far sideline. He doesn't have breakaway speed, so the Rebels able to run him down, but he's got a big chunk of ground all the way down to the Rebel 15.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The play that was designed was stopped. He hit into there. There was absolutely nothing, but he reversed his field, came back to the outside, and there was running room there. And he may not have breakaway speed, but he almost broke this one all the way.
54-yard run for Davis. His second longest. He had a 58-yarder earlier. State poised to take a lead at the 15, 1st and goal. Option. Clark hit from behind as the option to the near side fell forward to the 12-yard line. No score. 13:08 to go in the second quarter. Mississippi State threatening. Kyron Motton made the tackle. Stan, the Rebels had him but couldn't hold him.
Tell you what, David, for a guy that's that big, he showed a pretty good amount of speed. A big burst. He'll come out now. The other power back, Bowie, comes in. Kind of change of pace for the Bulldogs on offense with Clark in there. More of a runner than a passer, an option guy. Puts more pressure on the Reb defense.
2nd down and 7 for Mississippi State. Bowie now in the backfield with the fullback Fred McCrary in an eye from the 12 after the 3-yard gain. There's a give to the fullback, McCrary. McCrary stacked up at the 10. A gain of 2 if they spot him that far. It will bring up a 3rd down for the Bulldogs. 12:26 to go. Mississippi State has been very effective inside the red zone this year, as they have scored 32 times in 38 opportunities, 84% of the time. From the 10, that was a 2-yard gain. 3rd down and 5 for Mississippi State. State is 2 of 3 on 3rd downs. Ball is at the near hash. No score. 12 minutes to go with the clock running here in the second quarter. In the shotgun formation now is Darren Clark. Slot to the right, receiver wide left. Back to throw Clark, quarterback draw, and it does not fool the Rebels. He's dropped at the 10-yard line. Norman Hand and Michael Lowry snipped it out. I think that was a called play all the way, the quarterback draw, but nothing for Darren Clark. No gain. 4th down. The Dogs will send on the field goal unit. And to attempt the kick is Tim Rogers, the junior from Birmingham, a transfer from the Naval Academy. 11 of 18 on the year. This is a 28-yard attempt. He is perfect, 6 for 6 inside the 30. Inside of 30 yards. Here's the kick, and it is good. And Mississippi State strikes first in this football game. A 28-yard field goal for Rogers. It's 3-0 Dogs with 11:13 to go in the second quarter. Back after a 60-second message from your local sponsors. They made Thomas deep to receive for Ole Miss. It's taken by one of the up men. It's Mon Nicholson at the 25, 30. Breaks the tackle, 35 to the 40. Has a wall. He's to the 45, to the 50, and pulled down at Mississippi State's 44-yard line. It was a very short kick for State. And Mon, the true freshman from Louisville, Mississippi, took Andy Russ's kick and had a nice return to the 44, a 37-yard return. Time for some scores, Lyman.
All right, this SEC update is brought to you by your Mississippi Ford dealer. On Friday, Georgia defeated Georgia Tech 48-10. Today, with 3 minutes left in the ball game, Florida's leading Florida State 31-24. It's 44-0 Tennessee over Vanderbilt in the third, and LSU 9-6 over Arkansas in the second.
Dew Innocent up the middle to the 35, to the 30. First down, Ole Miss. Stan, that was a great return by Mon Nicholson.
Freshman from Louisville showed a little burst of speed, got a couple of good blocks, and got to the outside. Gave the Rebels good field position, and now a nice run by Big Dew Innocent.
14-yard gain for Dew. That last drive for Mississippi State, Lyman had 84 yards.
84 yards in 4 plays.
Of course, that 54-yard run by Davis, they finished with the 28-yard field goal. First down from the State 30. Back to throw. Nelson, far side, threw it over. Dew Innocent, incomplete. 2 receivers for Ole Miss laying on the ground down there. Fisher and Preston either cut and slipped or got knocked off their feet. 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line for Ole Miss. 10:44 to go second quarter. 3-0 Mississippi State, but the Rebels trying to roar back quickly. Big return by Mon Nicholson. Nice run by Dew Innocent. Now the incompletion. So 2nd and 10 from the Bulldog 30 near hash. Monkus, May Evans, Kitchen Miller across the front for Ole Miss. Tight end is Chris Mangum. Slot to the right. One back is Dew Innocent. Receiver wide left. Nelson appears to be trying to change the play. 5-man front for State. Nelson takes the snap. Quickly drops back, looking to throw. Now rolls out right. Looks, goes deep into the end zone. He's got Roel Preston. Touchdown! Ole Miss! Great catch by Roel over Walt Harris, the cornerback, who is second in the SEC in interceptions with 6, and Roel aiding for lunch. Let's go to Stan.
Well, 2 things made that play. Josh got good protection, and Roel lifted his hand at about the 10, David, and kept going toward the other corner. Josh spotted him and led him. Great throw, nice catch, Rebs on top.
6-3 Rebels, 10:37 to go in the second quarter. The highly touted defensive backfield of Mississippi State's giving up some passing yards. Montz to attempt the point after. It's on its way. It's good. Ole Miss 7, Mississippi State 3. Boy, the Rebels got the lead in a hurry after going down 3-zip. 10:37 to go in the half. We'll hear from Ultracell. 10 minutes, 37 seconds go in the second quarter. A great kickoff return by Mon Nicholson, and then the Rebels stick it in at 7-3. Walter Grant with a sky kick taken by the Bulldogs to the 18. Moles to the 20. 25, near side 30. And now surrounded and dropped as he spun back around. He's going to lose some yardage back to the 29. Roel Preston, most touchdowns in a career is 13 by J.R. Ambrose from 84 to 87. Roel has 11 in just 2 seasons at Ole Miss. Ken Toller had 9 touchdown catches in 1980 for the single season mark. Roel has 8. He has another. He'll tie the Ole Miss record. Derek Tate is back in at quarterback. You know, Roel had 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown against Mississippi State last year in the losing cause in Starkville. From the 29, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Offset eye in the backfield. 3 down linemen, 2 outside men for the Rebels. There's the snap. Back to throw is Tate, looking over the middle. He's got Jones, and Jones makes a grab at midfield. Just angled him down the hash. He had Derek Jones on his hip and hauled it in. So Mississippi State trying to come back in a hurry. Seems like the tempo of this game is turned up a couple of notches all of a sudden. Let's check with Stan Sandroni.
I tell you what, David, that was a throw pretty low. You got to give Jones credit. He went down and scooped that one up. Nice catch because the ball was underthrown. And you are right. They've turned it up more than 2 notches, about 3 or 4.
21-yard catch by Jones to the 50. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 3-man rush as Tate is back to throw. Lots of time going deep. Far sides to Moulds. 1-on-1. And Moulds hauls it in inside the 5 at the 1-yard line. The Rebels tried to knock it away. Couldn't do it. Bryce was there but did not get a hand on it. And Mississippi State is 1st and goal at the 1 on a 49-yard reception. So much for the running game all of a sudden.
Well, we said this is a strange game, and it's been strange already.
Eric Moulds with an acrobatic catch at the 1. 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. 7-3 Ole Miss leads. The fog is getting thicker and thicker. It's getting hard to see the players from here. High formation for Tate. Gives, second man, touchdown. Untouched is Kevin Bowie. His 5th touchdown of the year, and just like that, Mississippi State in 3 plays is back on top. The 1-yard run by Bowie, and it's now 9-7 Mississippi State. Point after attempt coming, and it'll be Tim Rogers to attempt it to put the Dogs back up by 3. It's like a tennis match. Here's the kick, and it is no good. No good. He pushed it wide right and missed it. We'll see if it haunts the Dogs later. 9-7 State, 9:43 to go in the half. We'll be back after this 1-minute message from your local sponsors. Kick to Ole Miss is to Lee May Thomas, a couple of yards deep in the end zone. He'll down it, and the Rebels will take it at the 20. There's been a lot of fireworks here lately. State drives down, gets a field goal. Ole Miss comes right back quickly with a kickoff return. 2 plays touchdown, 3 plays touchdown. State comes back, 3 plays touchdown, and the Dogs are up 9-7 with 9:43 to go in the quarter. And Stan, has been wild and woolly here in the last few minutes.
Tell you what, give Eric Moulds some credit. Bryce was with him step for step. Alundis 5'10", Moulds 6'3". That made the difference.
1 back in the backfield for Ole Miss. 2 receivers wide right, 2 wide left. Anding is in the slot on the right. From the 20, there's the snap. Nelson turns right, and nobody is there. Mark Smith went the other way, and Nelson is dropped at the 15, so that's a busted play. And we'll see where they officially spot it. Lindsey and Smith, along with Gamina, there to combine on the stop. They're going to put it at the 17, so a loss of 3. 2nd down and 13 for the Rebels. Boy, it's tough. You take the lead, and then, boom, 49-yard pass to Moulds with a 1-yard run, and State right back on top. 1 back in the backfield, 2 receivers wide left. Preston and Fisher in the slot. Lee May Thomas wide right. There's the snap. Nelson back to throw. Being pressured. Looking and swings it over the head of Mark Smith. Incomplete. Roel Preston was by himself deep over the middle at the 45. He had his man beat. And Josh either didn't have time or just that was not the design play, didn't look in that direction.
He looked like he was looking for Smith all the way that time. He was getting good pressure put on him, but he was looking for Smith. I question whether or not Smith can handle those passes or not with that elbow that he has heavily bandaged.
Roel Preston has 6 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. Eric Moulds 2 catches, 61 yards that set up the TD. 3rd down and 13 for the Rebels at the Ole Miss 17-yard line. Ball to near hash. 8:58 to go in the first half. Ahmad Shaheed is in for Miller now. Swing pass near side to Lee May Thomas. Needs some blocks to the 20, 25, 30. He's in the clear. The 40, the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. 1 man can get him. The 10, the 5 is in. Touchdown, Ole Miss! oxygen quickly. Let's check with Stan.
Well, everybody says the Ole Miss passing game needs to go downfield more. That's true. But when you get it to a back like LeMay Thomas or Preston, in this case it was Thomas, and he breaks the tackle and gets a block, his speed took him the rest of the way. And what a big play. What some fireworks.
13-9 Ole Miss. Point after attempt, Mott's. Kickers don't sit down. It's good. 14-9 Rebels. 8:43 to go in the half. We'll be back after this from State Farm and Chevron. Here's the kick by Walter Grant. Moulds has it at the 8, down the near hash of the 20, 25 to the 30, breaks the tackle to the 40, cuts back to the 45, he's to midfield, breaks another tackle, and then tackled from behind by Benson at the 41. Somebody throw a bucket of water. These two teams are on fire. 14-9 Ole Miss, and State gets a great return out of Eric Moulds. 52 yards for Moulds. He has led the nation in kickoff returns for 7 weeks this season. Well, boom, boom, Mississippi State's bat. We're at the 40. Put it at the 41 officially of Ole Miss. Mississippi State with its 5th possession of the half. 83-yard touchdown pass to LeMay Thomas, but he ran all of it. There's the give to Davis, sweeping right, strung out to the sidelines, pushed out of bounds. At the 39, he'll get about 2, and that's it.
Now, Jackie Sherrill is having a fit over there because he wanted a flag on that play.
He was ridden out of bounds, and they felt like it was a late hit. No call. They being Mississippi State. But it looked like Lowry let up after he shoved him, but kind of was there with him. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 for Mississippi State. We won't be able to pass much longer. We won't be able to see. The fog is getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Offset eye for State, 2nd down and 8 from the Ole Miss 39. Derek Tate, the quarterback, takes a snap, option to the near side. Tate fakes and keeps, cuts it up to the 35 and dives to the 31, close to the 1st down. Jackson and Tate, or rather Nate Wayne on the stop for Ole Miss. And now there comes a late flag, maybe some extracurricular activity on one side or the other. Let's check with Stan.
Well, Alundis Bryce and Chris Jones were jawing, and the officials told them to stop it, and Alundis popped him with an elbow to the face, and the official threw the flag. It'll cost us 15.
Oh, that is just uncalled for, a lesson that we thought had been learned. So now they don't even need the measurement. Mississippi State was at the 31. I think they had the 1st down anyway, but now the penalty will bring it all the way to the 16.
Well, you know, Alundis got thrown out of the ball game last year, and he said he had made up his mind that he was not going to cost his team any yardage, but he just cost them 15.
That's the 3rd 1st down for State by way of a Rebel penalty. From the 16 of Ole Miss, 1st down for the Bulldogs. Rebels leading 14-9. Gibbs, 2nd man, left side, stacked up inside the 15. At the 13 is Michael Davis. A gain of 3. Motton and Knott combined on the stop for Ole Miss. Well, we've seen 2 great kickoff returns. The one that set up the Rebel touchdown when Nelson connected with Preston, then the one just moments ago there by Eric Moulds that is setting up what may be a score for Mississippi State. 7:42 to go in the 2nd quarter. This has been a wild quarter. The first one was just, yeah. It was zip after one. 2nd down and 7 for the Dogs. Tate, options to the right. Looks to run, is hit and clobbered right at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard. Michael Lowry lowering the boom. They'll spot it right there at the 13. No gain. Well, they put it at the 12, give him 1. So 3rd down and 6 for Mississippi State from the Ole Miss 12-yard line. Dogs are 2 of 4 on 3rd downs. Gerald Daniels is in at wide receiver for State. Slot to the left. Daniels is in the slot along with Ewell on the line. Receiver wide right. Shotgun formation for Tate. He now sends Daniels in motion. Stops, turns around, and comes back in motion to the near side. There's the blitz. Quick hitter to the 6-yard line. It's complete. And then tackled immediately is the receiver, Bernard Ewell. That was a bullet for a first down.
Well, it sure was. It's just an outstanding pass because the Rebel defense didn't have any time to try to knock it down or anything. His man just pulled into the hash mark there, turned around, stopped. The play was there, and for a first down.
8-yard gain as Jones and Jackson tackled Ewell immediately. It was a quick hitter, though, and he has the grab. First and goal for the Bulldogs at the Ole Miss 4, trying to regain the lead. High formation for Mississippi State. There's the snap. Second man, left side in the end zone. Again, untouched. This time, Michael Davis. Last time, Bowie. They just run off, tackle, wall off the Rebels, and there's just nothing Ole Miss can do about it. 15-14 Mississippi State. Now the Bulldogs will go for 2 to try to make up for that missed point after earlier. So Davis on the 4-yard run. And the way they've done so far from that distance, you anticipate another run to Davis or Bowie, who's in. Davis is in as they angle off tackle.
I don't see anything wrong with the same play.
No backs in the backfield here. Tate on the snap, rolls out the pass. He's hit. It is dropped. It was intended for the tight end, Watkins, incomplete. As Nate Wayne hit the quarterback right on the pass. It'll stay 15-14 Mississippi State with 6:18 to go in the quarter. We'll be back after this 1-minute break from your local sponsors. Lee May Thomas on the return is off to the races again. The 45, the 50, pulled down by the kicker, Russ. At the 46-yard line, the ball popped loose, but they said it was when he hit the ground, and Ole Miss has got it at the Mississippi State 46. Boy, special teams have fallen apart. Missed point after. Kickoff returns left and right. You know, we go back to two-point conversion, Stan. We just talked about how effective State was inside the 5, just running off tackle. I think they outthought themselves on that pass attempt to the tight end.
Well, sometimes you can think too much, and I guess they thought that Ole Miss would definitely be looking for the run and try to cross them up with the pass, but the big tight end just dropped it.
Rebels at the Bulldog 46. It was a 46-yard return. Trailing by 1, 6:10 to go in the second quarter. Russ's kick was short, and Lee May caught it on a dead run. Back to throw. Nelson deep over the middle. He's got Preston incomplete, or Fisher rather. Fisher is upset. He thought he was held by the defensive back, Andre Bennett. Second down and 10 for the Mississippi State 46.
He really was wide open, but Nelson, anticipating him being further downfield, just threw it too far. Even if he had been bumped along the line of scrimmage, there wasn't a guy within 5 or 10 yards of him.
6:04 to go in the first half. Mississippi State 15, Ole Miss 14. Fog all over the place. One back in the backfield is Mark Smith. 2 receivers wide left. Off the line, tight end left is Mangum. There's the snap. Nelson gives on the draw to Mark Smith. Breaks one tackle, then in trouble. Drop behind the line of scrimmage as State got good penetration. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there comes a flag. A flag is thrown late. Maybe another personal foul. It was Wesley Leasy who led the 4 Bulldogs on the tackle. It's actually a loss of a yard. And it's against Mississippi State. Jackie Sherrill on the far side was pointing against the Rebels. But it's a personal foul against Mississippi State. Let's check on the Ole Miss sidelines with Stan Sandroni.
Well, the tempers are starting to take its toll, and the intense rivalry continues, just like Alundis threw one into the face of a Bulldog. This time, one of the defensive linemen from Mississippi State popped a Rebel, and I think he hit James Holcomb. The official saw it, threw the flag. It'll cost them 15.
15-yard penalty to the 32. That's one thing you can say about Mr. Harper, lineman. He doesn't let him get out of control.
No, he's going to keep the game under control. He's one of the better officials in the Southeastern Conference. He's the dean, I guess, of referees.
So now Ole Miss with a first down at the Mississippi State 32, trailing by 1, 15-14. Ball at the near hash. Back to throw is Nelson. Has time. Swings right. Looking. Gets a block. Throws over the middle. Complete to DeMorris Fisher at the 21. He's pulled down right there. So he really came back to help Nelson, it looked like. Made the catch at the 21 for a first down. A little hook pass. Hook route, rather. Right at the hash, and made the grab. Was tackled instantly by Andre Bennett, but it's enough for the first down.
Well, Nelson's been able to buy himself some time on the last touchdown pass he threw to LeMay Thomas. He moved out of the pocket to his right. This time he moved out of the pocket to his right and found Fisher.
It was an 11-yard gain to the 21. Ole Miss now with 11 first downs. First and 10 at the Bulldog 21. Slot right. Ball is at the near hash. Nelson fakes, looks, rolls left, looking to throw, being chased, in trouble, and out of bounds. That was a fake right, and then they ran an option. They was going to do that little shovel pass underneath the Smith, but State had it read very, very well, so Josh had to run. In fact, will lose a yard to the 22 as he went out of bounds on the far side.
You know, Dave, it's only 2:35 in the afternoon, and it's almost dark here.
Well, the lights are on here at Vaught Hemingway,
Yeah.
but you can look right in them, and they don't even hurt your eyes. They're usually very, very bright. But there's so much fog, and it feels like it's getting a tad bit warmer all of a sudden. Our hands were cold a moment ago, and this fog is rolled in. It's kind of like a blanket.
Y'all swap seats with me?
No. I've heard you complain about having cold hands down there. 2nd and 11 from the 22. 5 minutes to go in the half. Nelson changing the play. He's going to have to hurry. Play clock is rolling now. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. There's the snap. Nelson back to throw. Comes to the near side. He's got his man to Morris Fisher, who's tackled immediately at the 18. Not much of a gain there. About 4. It will bring up a 3rd down for the Rebels as Mike James makes the tackle. Josh saw something he wanted to switch out of. It'll be 3rd and 7 from the 18-yard line. Got to get to the 11 for a 1st down. 4:33 clock running. State 15, Ole Miss 14. Nelson already has over 200 yards passing, 202 in the first half. Ball at the near hash. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Lone back is Mark Smith. Back to throw Nelson. Has time, now chased out of the pocket. Rolls out left, looking in the end zone. Slings it over the middle. It is incomplete, nearly intercepted at the 5-yard line. It'll be a 4th down. To Morris Fisher, the intended receiver, who tried to come back and help. And boy, that's a tough throw, Stan, as the field goal unit comes on. It was against Josh's body, running for his life, as he was being in hot pursuit there by one of the defensive linemen.
You're right, and I'm just glad he got rid of it. David did not take a sack and take us out of field goal range.
Tim Montz at the 24 is where the ball will be placed, a 34-yard attempt. He is a perfect 7 for 7 inside 40 yards. This will give the Rebels the lead back. It's on the near hash. Bonds is holding. Vincent to snap. There's the snap, and the kick has the distance, and it is good. The Rebels have regained the lead. Montz now with 12 field goals and 15 attempts on the year. He has been almost automatic. 17-15, Ole Miss back after we're from Budweiser and Chevron. Rebels will kick off, and so far the kick returns have been impressive. Here's a high sky kick. It's going to be taken at the 25 to the 30. Straight ahead, dropped to the 33 is Tony Buckhalter, a freshman from Daleville, Alabama. Moulds was on the far side that time. It's a 9-yard return. Mississippi State will have it at their own 33. Although that's not bad field position, I'd rather them be there than what it's been like lately. Derek Jones made the tackle. So Mississippi State with the football, 6th possession of the half for the Dogs. The Rebels lead 17-15. 32 points have been scored in the 2nd quarter. 4:04 to go in the quarter, and you can barely see from here to the field. The fog is so thick. 1st down for State from their 33. Tate, the quarterback, back to throw. Lots of time, and has a pass complete at the 38, turning and driving straight up the middle of the field to the 40. 41 is Fred McCrary, the fullback. He's tackled by Jackson and Motton, and will have an 8-yard pickup there. So it's 2nd down and 2 for Mississippi State. Plenty of time for the Bulldogs to go down and regain the lead. Rebel defense would like to hold here. Still going with a 3-down lineman, Ferguson, Hand, and Fortson. Offset eye in the backfield for the Bulldogs. 1 receiver wide right, 1 wide left. From the 41, Tate to throw. Over the middle, it is caught on a sliding effort at the 44 by Chris Jones, who's having a good half. They'll spot it at the 43 of Ole Miss. He just angled back underneath, got behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties downfield, and made the catch. 16 yards to the 43. Clock running. 3:14 to go in the half. Ole Miss 17, Mississippi State 15. 1st and 10 from the Ole Miss 43. High formation. There's the snap. There's the give. Straight ahead, Bowie's got a little bit of a hole to the 40 to the 35 and dropped there. Norman Hand on the tackle.
You know, David, we can put our glasses on, that is our binoculars, but try to look at this thing, and they really look like they need to be cleaned off. There's a fog or something over the end of them.
8-yard gain to the 35, 2nd and 2 for Mississippi State at the far hash, the Rebel 35, I formation for Tate. Tate brings Moulds in motion to the far side, now takes the snap. Give is to Bowie. He's got a huge hole to the 30, to the 25, first down as Derek Jones tackles him at the 25-yard line. Stan, what about that offensive line of Mississippi State?
Well, I'll tell you, they've been compared, and they're big as the Dallas Cowboys, for that matter, and considered one of the best offensive lines in the country, and they're proving it. Those backs behind those big linemen, boy, they do a tremendous job. And one man, David, and lineman just simply has not been able to bring down Bowie or Michael Davis.
10 yards and a first down for the Dogs. Davis has 94 yards on 9 carries. Bowie 68 yards on 11 carries. Offset I again. 1st and 10 for the Rebel 25. 2:07 to go in the half. There's the snap. Tate back to throw. Being pressured. Throws far side. It's overthrown as he was trying to hit Moulds in the near corner of the end zone. Moulds got behind Bryce a little bit, but Bryce was close enough that it forced Tate to throw it high and incomplete.
I tell you what, with the running game that Mississippi State have, and I'm not questioning their coaching or play calling at all, but I tell you what, if they just wanted to line up and run the ball at Ole Miss, I don't think they'd have to throw a pass all day.
Well, it would be difficult, you would think. They've had a lot of success in running the football. From the 25, it's 2nd down and 10 for State. Ball in the middle of the field. Fog is getting thicker and thicker, and the lights aren't helping a whole lot. Offset I for the Bulldogs. Rebels show about 7 in the box up tight. There's the snap to give us to the second man. It's Bowie. Bowie turns outside to the 40, lowers his head, and drives to the 15-yard line. I said the 40 is the 20, and drives to the 15, and is pulled down there by Kyle Wicker, the sophomore from Liberty, Mississippi, and Antonio Bonner. But he will have a Bulldog first down, a 10-yard pickup. And when you can get 6, 7, 8 to 10 yards running every time, kind of defeats the purpose to throw, except, you know, you throw the ball also to make Ole Miss stay loose and not look for the run the entire time, too.
Ole Miss is trying to keep everything in front of them. They've got 3 down linemen, and that's inviting the run, of course.
First down at the Rebel 15. Ole Miss leading 17-15. 1:33 to go in the half. Tate back to throw. Has time over the middle. His pass is caught in heavy traffic by McCrary, the fullback, at the 7-yard line. He was sandwiched by Wicker and Motton, but still held on to the football stand. That was a pretty nice catch. They put it at the 7-yard line, and State wants a timeout. Back after this 60-second message from your local sponsor. Mississippi State with a 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard pass to the fullback McCrary at the Ole Miss 7-yard line near hash. Rebels leading 17-15. 1:21 to go in the half. High formation for the Bulldogs. Man in motion. Gives. Second back. Sweeping left. Bowie. He's at the 5. Lowers his head. Dives for the end zone. No. He stopped at the 1-yard line. As a host of Rebels bring him down, and it took that much. Jones and Bonner were there. Well, this drive started at the Mississippi State 33, and Stan, we got to try to figure out how to keep them away from the 1.
I'll tell you, I'm like Lyman. They keep it on the ground. They can run from here to Memphis. Tell you what, they've just got a big offensive line. They've stopped themselves on a couple of times with fumbles and interceptions and penalties, but they are a determined bunch. Reb defense has been on the field an awful long time.
6-yard gain to the 1. 1st and goal for Mississippi State as the Dogs look to take the lead back. High formation. Tate gives. Second back. Untouched left side. That has happened over and over again as Bowie was untouched. The big, massive State offensive line with Wisner and James and Anderson there on that left-hand side. Center out to the tackle. Just wall off the Rebels, and Bowie could be staying and get in the end zone.
Yeah. I tell you what, they've not touched him when he comes to the near side, and they've run to the left every time. You notice that? Of course, they feel like the left side of their offensive line is stronger than the right side, or else they feel like the right side of the Ole Miss defense is a little bit weaker.
21-17, Mississippi State will go for 2. They send 2 receivers wide right, and again they're at the 3. I just don't understand this pass formation. They're in a shotgun. Oh, they're going to give instead to Davis, and he is dropped at the 2-yard line, did not get in. Why don't they just line up in the eye and do what they've been doing inside the 5 when they score the touchdowns? It's amazing.
I don't know, but don't tell them.
Okay, we won't. 21-17, State leads 1:12 to go in the half. Back after this from Trustmark National Bank. A short kick by Tim Rogers. Eli Anding on the catch, fumbles the ball, but then lands on it at the 29. 1:09 to go in the half. 21-17, Mississippi State leads Ole Miss. Well, this has been a wild second quarter. 38 points scored in the second quarter as the two teams were scoreless going into the period. Well, the Rebels have a little time to work with. We show them with all three timeouts as well from their own 29-yard line. If Ole Miss can get close enough to strike and score. Nelson back to throw. Has time, rolls out right, looking downfield, swings it near side, incomplete. Paul Head on the sidelines caught that one. A backup quarterback, Tavoris Fisher, appeared to be open on the hash stand around midfield.
Well, he was for a moment, but with double coverage back there on him in the middle, if they were waiting for Josh to throw. If he would have thrown in that direction, they might have got a pick. Josh is going to have to probably, David, when he scrambles left or right now, when he sees them covered, cut it up and run, because a couple of times he probably could have picked up 5, 6, 7 yards.
Two receivers go wide left, Preston and Fisher. Second down and 10 from the Ole Miss 29 near hash. Draw play to Innocent. Bobbles the ball for a moment, now controls it. He's to the 36 and dropped there. A gain of 7 for Dew. There's a flag down that came in late, stopping the clock with 56 seconds to go in the half. Jamina and Curry combined for the stop. It's a face mask against Mississippi State. I tell you what, it is getting hard to pick up numbers. And this isn't even Tennessee down there. I heard they've outlined Tennessee's numbers in black. I hope they keep it that way when we meet the Vols in a couple of years. Well, the penalty.
Well, you're about a mile away from Tennessee's players when you're in Knoxville in that press box.
It's a first down for the Rebels at the 41. It's a 5-yard penalty, the inadvertent kind. Back to throw is Nelson. Looks, rolls right, hit as he lets it go, incomplete down the near sidelines, intended for Fisher. 42 seconds to go in the half. He's being chased from behind by Michael Lindsey. So 2nd and 10 from the 41. 42 seconds to go in the half. It's Mississippi State 21, Ole Miss 17. Boy, when you go in the locker room, what do you talk about adjusting? I mean, it's been unbelievable. Long pass, runs, kickoff returns. From the 41, 2nd and 10. Back to throw is Nelson again. Over the middle, it is caught by Roel Preston in state territory at the 46-yard line. First down, Ole Miss, as Charlie Davidson makes the tackle. A 13-yard pickup to the 46. The Rebels go to the line immediately with 32 seconds to go in the half. Back to throw is Nelson. In the pocket, being pressured, breaks one tackle, then dropped back at the Ole Miss 43-yard line. Clock at 20 seconds still running if the Rebels want a timeout. We'll be back after this 60-second message from your local sponsors. .43, 20 seconds to go in the half. 4 receivers spread out, one back in the backfield. Nelson on a wraparound draw gives it to Dew Innocent, breaks the tackle to the 50, to the state 44, 14 seconds, 13 seconds. A flag is thrown late. And now they stop the clock with 12 seconds. We'll keep it here, and we'll wait on the penalty as well. The timeout is by Ole Miss. It's not enough for the first down, but they're pointing at Ole Miss like it may be a clip or something. Let's check on Stan. We got a couple of players we're concerned about. Stan, Lee May Thomas and Jeff Miller have not returned to action.
Well, just prior to this play, Lee May Thomas was taken into the Ole Miss dressing room. For what reasons, I do not know, but I will find out at the half. He appeared to be okay, was walking on his own into the dressing room, and Jeff Miller has some kind of an injury to the right part of his leg, the bottom part of his right leg. Looked like maybe a pull muscle or something. They were trying to bandage it up tight. That's all I can tell you at that point. But this is a personal foul now against Ole Miss. Will nullify the fine run by Dew Innocent.
Well, he gains 13 in the 15-yard penalty, so brings it back to the Ole Miss 41-yard line. Rebels have 5 penalties for 55 yards, 3 15-yarders in that group. So now with 12 seconds to go in the half, 3rd down for Ole Miss. And 22 yards from the 41. Got to get to the 37 of Mississippi State. Ole Miss is 4 of 8 on 3rd down. From the 41, far hash, 2 receivers, wide right, 1 wide left. State shows a 4-man rush. 1 back in the backfield is Innocent. There's the snap. The give is to Innocent off the right side to the 50 and dives to the 46. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Rebels have another timeout. Do they want to use it? They do with 4 seconds left. So the Rebels will take 1 shot at the end zone. So a nice run for Dew Innocent. He now has 66 yards on 8 carries unofficially. Ball to Mississippi State 46. The Rebels will have a 4th down. 13-yard pickup there. So it's 4th down and 9 from the 46. Well, do you go for the bomb here, Lyman? That's what you were talking about with John.
That's what John and I were talking about. I don't know. You had 4 seconds to go. You do something to turn the ball over and give them a chance to go in for another score. I don't know whether you're going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. See, so I don't know. That's not my decision.
21-17. Mississippi State leads with 4 seconds to go in the half. It has been a wild 2nd quarter. 2 receivers wide right to short side of the field. Wide left is Preston. He draws double coverage. 1 back in the backfield. Nelson's going to give to Innocent. Instead, straight ahead to the 41. So the Rebels just killed the clock. A 5-yard gain. We're at the half. Mississippi State leading Ole Miss 21-17. And we'll go to the field to Stan Sandroni as Joe Lee Dunn, the head coach for the Rebels, will be joining him here to talk about this first half. Stan.
Okay.
More stats in a moment. Here's the kick to start the 2nd half by the Bulldogs. It's very short. Taken to the 23 by Nicholson. Nicholson breaks the tackle up to the 30, to the 32, and that's where the Rebels will start. Ole Miss had no turnovers. State had 2 in the first half, a fumble and an interception. 5 penalties, 55 yards against the Rebels, 3 against Mississippi State for 25 yards. Time of possession, 16:38 for State, 13:22 for Ole Miss. Innocent had 9 carries for 72 yards to lead the Rebels. Davis had 94 yards, and Bowie 85 for Mississippi State. Roel Preston led the Rebels in receiving, 6 catches, 91 yards. Thomas, 3 catches, 100 yards. Both had a touchdown. Chris Jones led State, 6 catches, 61 yards. The Ole Miss Rebels will take over at their own 32-yard line. There's an official's timeout. The countdown clock does not appear to be working again. While we have the break, let's go down to Stan Sandroni and his thoughts about this 2nd half.
Okay, David, an injury update. LeMay Thomas, who went to the dressing room prior to the half, is back out here. He was just out of breath and winded after running that long touchdown and then kickoff return. And Jeff Miller is starting the 2nd half. He's got an injured right knee, but it appears to be okay right now, and he will start. He is heavily taped. Man, the Rebels, as Joe Lee Dunn said, got to find some kind of way to stop the Bulldogs.
Got to find it. Rebels with the football, trailing 21-17 at their own 32-yard line. This will be the first offensive play of the 3rd quarter. Here's the snap to give us to Dew Innocent. Dew Innocent to the 35, to the 37, has 5 yards. State trying to strip him of the football there, Lyman.
Yeah, they were reaching, grabbing for it. They said if they go run the ball, somebody hit him, and the rest of them try to take the ball away.
So 2nd and 5 for the Rebels from their own 37-yard line. 21-17, Mississippi State with 14:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. We're just underway. David Kellum, Lyman Helms, and Stan Sandroni with you from a foggy Oxford. Here on the Ole Miss campus, you can barely see the field. From the 37, there's a pitch to Innocent, sweeping left, gets a nice block, and then steams to the 40, to the 44, 1st down. Dew Innocent running over some people, too. And Lyman, we've been talking about Davis and Bowie, but Dew has really been punishing tacklers the last several weeks.
He really has. He does not have the big offensive line. They're big enough. You know, I'm not saying Ole Miss has got a small offensive line, but they are a good run-blocking team. And it looks like Ole Miss wants to blend in the run with the pass here in the 2nd half.
7-yard gain to the 44, 1st down Rebels. Dew has 84 yards on 11 carries. 1 back in the backfield. There's the snap. Nelson, quick step back. His pass complete to the tight end Mangum, who's hit up around the head area and tackled at the 48 of Ole Miss. It'll be a gain of 4, it appears, if they spot it there. Charlie Davidson on the tackle. Chris Mangum with his 9th catch of the year, the transfer from Alabama, sophomore from McGee, Mississippi. They'll spot it at the 47. So that is a 3-yard reception, 2nd down and 7 for the Rebels. 21-17 State, 13-23 third quarter. Ball on the near hash, slot to the left, receiver wide right is Lee May Thomas. One back is Innocent. There's the pitch to Innocent. Hits the line hard and then dropped at the 49 of Ole Miss as the Bulldogs converge. James Greer got there first, redshirt freshman, defensive lineman from Macon, Georgia. This will be a 2-yard pickup. So 3rd down and 5 for the Rebels from the Ole Miss 49. Got to convert here to keep the drive going. Rebels in their blue jerseys today, State in their white. Wide out to the right goes John Knight. The Rebels are 4-9 on 3rd downs. Slot to the left from the Rebel 49. There's a snap. Here comes a blitz. Nelson runs away from it, looks downfield, throws incomplete, threw it behind Roel Preston, who hooked. He was pushed in the back a little bit, no foul called. Charlie Davidson was guarding in the area. The Rebels will have to punt. Pretty nice block there by Dew Innocent, Stan, to prevent the sack, but then Josh Nelson may have rushed the play a little bit after that.
I'm going to tell you, quite a block by Dew against a big lineman. Had he not got that block, Josh, no doubt, would have been sacked. Need to pin the Dogs back deep here.
4th and 5 for the Rebels from their own 49. So State holds Ole Miss on the opening possession. They show a 10-man rush. Here's the kick by Walter Grant, high into that sky. I don't know where it is. It's caught at the 18-yard line and tackled at the 21. Is the return man for Mississippi State, Bernard Ewell. And Ewell at the 21 is where they'll spot him. Jerry Graber made the tackle downfield for the Rebels. 21-17, Mississippi State leading Ole Miss, and we have a timeout on the field. Back after this from Budweiser and Exxon. After a 33-yard punt, they officially spot the ball at the State 20. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, leading 21-17, 12-27 to go in the 3rd quarter. First possession for the Dogs. Davis off the left side of the 25, of the 26. Just goes off left tackle, and Rebels try to bring him down. And one of the Rebels now is shaken up on the far side as Antonio Bonner makes the tackle.
I think it is Antonio Bonner. He blocked him down, hit him down around the knees, but Bonner was the one who got shook up on the play.
100 yards now for Davis after that 6-yard pickup. 2nd down and 4 from the 26.
Bonner kind of holding his arm like, he got a pretty good stinger there, I imagine.
From the 26, 2nd and 4 for Mississippi State. Offset eye in the backfield, ball at the far hash, receiver wide right. There's the snap. Tate couldn't find anybody. Now rolls out right in trouble and pulled down at the 21-yard line by Norman Hand, who gets the sack. And I don't know, looked like the backs ran off and left their quarterback all by himself.
It sure looked like that. He looked like he turned to hand the ball to a back, and there was no one there, and he just simply spun out and came to the near side, but he ran into Norman Hand.
First tackle for a loss today by the Rebel defense. Back to the 21. It was a loss of 5. 3rd down and 9 for Mississippi State. See if the Rebel D can hold here. State has not had to punt in the football game. Shotgun formation for Tate. There's a snap. Here comes a pressure. Looks to throw. Near side pumps. Goes deep, and it is incomplete. They had a little fake and hook and then go deep to Jones. Jones is upset. He wanted interference. Jones stopped at the 30 stand, and it was going to go deep, but Alundis stayed right with him.
Exactly right, and that's what made that play. Alundis stayed right with him on the stop, didn't take it, and then took off with him and stayed right with him, and Tate overshot him. Rebels finally stopped the Dogs and forced them to punt, as you say, for the first time.
DeBoris Fisher deep to receive at the 40-yard line. Punting is Andy Russ. He is longest 57 yards. He has a 37.9 average. Left footer gets it away. And it's going to hit, dangerously close to a Rebel. Alundis Bryce around the 45. Not a real deep punt. And Ole Miss has excellent field position at their own 44-yard line. It's a 35-yard punt. Well, this quarter developing like the third quarter lineman. So if the fourth quarter is like the second quarter, we will all die of heart attacks. We won't make it.
It won't be any more exciting than the one 2 years ago. That's for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Some great games between these two ball clubs.
Ole Miss at the 44. Miller back in at tackle, as Stan pointed out. You have Miller, May, Monkus, Holcomb at right guard, and Kitchen at right tackle on the offense. 21-17, Mississippi State leading Ole Miss with 10:44 to go here in quarter number 3. We have a officials timeout for the moment. I want to remind you, Charlie Connerly will be among the 12 stars on hand for the Health South Living Legends of SEC Football Banquet Friday, December the 2nd at the Inforum in Atlanta, an event that will raise $10,000 in scholarship money to each of the 12 SEC schools. For ticket information, you can call 404-876-7060. Charlie Connerly, Rebel great, will be on hand, and we congratulate Charlie and wish that event the best of luck. From the 44, Ole Miss with a first down. Near hash, one back is Dew Innocent. There's the snap. Back to throw is Nelson. Sets up. Now runs. He's to the 45, to the 50, dives to the Bulldog 45-yard line as James Holloway, the free safety, met him helmet to helmet there. But Josh was flushed out of the pocket and decided to run straight ahead. Oh, they gave him a terrible spot. That is the worst spot I've seen all year. He was at the 45. They spotted at the 46 and a half. That is a terrible spot. Maybe it's getting foggy in the official viewpoint as well. That's a 9-yard gain. Second down and 1 for the Rebs. They're straight ahead. Getting the first down is Dew Innocent to the 45. So a 1-yard pickup and a first down for the Rebels.
First down, Ole Miss.
Jolie Dunn, who was in short sleeve shirt the first half, his red shirt, he's got his jacket on here in the second half, hoping that the Rebels can finish the season on a positive note. Trailing Mississippi State at the moment, 21-17, 9:47 to go in a quarter. First down for the Bulldog 45. Slot to the left, one back in the backfield, receiver wide right. Josh Nelson apparently trying to change a play. 3 seconds on the play clock. There's the snap. Back to throw. Quick hitter, far side, overthrew it, intended for John Knight. Incomplete.
Well,
so second down and 10.
You kind of had the feeling that that play was not going to go anywhere anyhow, because I'm sure that everyone was on the same page.
You know, that could be a play to set something up as well. You
Sure.
had one-on-one coverage out there, so you'd let him take a step up and come back and throw to him. Now do the same thing, fake it, and let him go deep. Instead, though, the Rebels are going to send 2 receivers wide right. Single coverage here on the left with Roel Preston. Second and 10 from the State 45. There's a draw play to Dew Innocent. Breaks the tackle, puts down a hand, gets inside the 40 to the 39, and he just sliced past some Mississippi State defenders. He really should have been dropped in the backfield.
I was going to say that play should have gone for minus yardage. Instead, he gets it down inside the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a third down and only about, 4 yards to go, I guess now.
3rd and 4 from the Bulldog 39. After the 6-yard gain by Dew Innocent. Dew is now at 94 yards unofficially on 14 carries. Rebels 4 of 10 on 3rd downs. 9 minutes to go in a quarter. Trailing 21-17. There's the snap. Blitz. The pass. Complete. Far side of the bars. Fisher. He breaks the tackle, then is pulled down at the 31-yard line. First down, Ole Miss. Little out route to TB, and he pulled it in. Johnny Harris almost lost him, then tackled him from behind the second time after Tabarez slipped away from him momentarily. 8-yard gain, first down Rebels. Ole Miss trying to regain the lead in this one. First quarter, these two teams kind of punched it out, feeling each other out. Then they started trying to knock each other out in the second quarter. 1st and 10 from the 31 of State. There's the snap. Nelson back to throw. Lots of time going deep for Roel Preston. One-on-one. It is incomplete. Good coverage by Charlie Davidson on Roel Preston. Roel could not quite bring that one in, Stan.
A pretty good throw, and you're right. Davidson right there with him, and Roel went up, had a hand on it, but Davidson knocked it away. Two good players going head-to-head, and that's what you like right here. Good competition. Good play by the Bulldog defense.
2nd down and 10 from the Bulldog 31. Arhash. Eli Anding is checked in with John Knight. Roel Preston. So on 2nd and 10, this is the 4 receiver setup. Double slot, one right, one left, no tight ends. Play clock at 3 seconds. There's a snap to give us to do. Innocent breaks one tackle and then leans forward to get to the 27, and that's all he could get. He needed one more step to really break it wide open. Wesley Leasy on the tackle. What they're doing, Stan and Lyman, is spreading out the defensive backs, getting them to follow those 4 receivers and trying to break that front wall with Do Innocent for a big gainer.
Well, it'll work if they just keep going. Leasy at that time had him right around a foot. If he could have jerked his foot loose, he had some good running room.
4-yard gain, 3rd down and 6 for the Rebels at the State 27. 98 yards for Do Innocent now. There's the snap, back to throw. Nelson has lots of time, going deep over the middle. Roel Preston, oh, he overthrew him, incomplete. He was open for the touchdown. He led him a little bit too much right under the goalpost. 4th down.
Yep, that's what you work for, is to try to get a man open. He was open, but everything has to click. He just threw it a little bit too far. He leaped for it, couldn't even get a hand on it.
Josh didn't have quite enough air under that one, Stan.
Great effort by Preston. You're right, just didn't quite get it to him. Now big field goal coming by Timmy Montz.
From the 34, a 44-yard attempt. He is 4 for 6 from this range on the season. 12 of 15 on the year. Had a field goal first half. There's the snap down. The kick is on its way. It has the distance. No good. He pushed it to the left. So with 7:43 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's still 21-17 Mississippi State. And Stan, that kick, you were down there kind of close. It looked like it was sidewinding.
Well, it had the distance, David, but as it was getting closer to the upright, it was curving to the left. He missed it a good 3 or 4 feet.
So now Mississippi State will take over, leading 21-17. Final score, Lyman, Vandy nothing, Tennessee 85.
Oh, boy.
Jerry DiNardo will not sleep tonight.
Oop.
Mississippi State from their own 27-yard line. 2nd possession. Long pass complete to Jones at the Rebel 45-yard line. Down the far hash. Tate had time and threw a bullet to Chris Jones. And Mississippi State picking up big yardage and now in Rebel territory. 28-yard gain as Derek Jones makes the tackle with Antonio Bonner. 7 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Mississippi State now in Rebel territory quickly. 28-yard strike to Jones. One back in the backfield for Derek Tate, sophomore from Moss Point. Play action. He's back to throw. Pumps. Now steps up in the pocket. He's going to run. Heads for the far sidelines. Dives inside the 40 to the 37 between the hash and the sidelines. And has a big gainer out of that. Good coverage downfield, so Tate was forced to run. Ends up with a pretty good pickup as Carmichael and Wayne make the tackle for the Ole Miss Rebels. An 8-yard pickup to the 37. So 2nd down 2 for Mississippi State from the Ole Miss 37. I formation. Man goes in motion. Buckhalter. The give is to Bowie off the left side and has the 1st down and out of bounds at the 30. They're just using speed and walling off to hit the corners. And Mississippi State's going to be out of bounds at the 31, but it's enough for the 1st down. A gain of 6.
And that's the only thing that State has to do to win this football game, is continue running it like that.
Well, the Rebels have had only the one loss, and that was on a passing play, a sack, and we have not seen a single time the Rebels have penetrated through and dropped State for a loss on a running play. 6:27 to go, clock stop. We're in the third quarter, 21-17 Mississippi State. First and 10 at the Ole Miss 31 far hash. Offset eye, here's the snap. Tate gives to the lone back, and it's Bowie, and he's hit and dropped at the 30. That time we hit him at the 32, but he still got a yard to the 30. So second down and 9 for the Bulldogs from the 30-yard line. Carmichael and Jackson come up for the stop. Well, we're going to miss Abdul Jackson. His season-high tackles this year came against Alabama with 18. Has led Ole Miss in tackles 3 straight years. His career numbers coming in 379 stops, second all-time to Jeff Arad. 27 career double-figure tackle games. Had 10 tackles in the game last year against State. He's already been selected to play in this year's Senior Bowl along with Alundis Bryce. From the 30, second down and 9 for Mississippi State. Rebels show 5 across the front. Tate back to throw. Lofts it up in the air. It's up for grabs, and Bryce picks it off at the 15-yard line and falls at the 13, falling backwards. That was an ill-advised pass by Derek Tate. He was under pressure and threw it up like a dying duck. And Alundis with the interception, his second of the ball game, and for Bryce, his 7th of the year and his career 14th.
Well, that right there is a good example of what pressure will do. Derek Tate didn't have time. He just lofted the ball, hoping his receiver could do something, but there was double coverage back there. He threw it too far, but Alundis Bryce caught up with it and made the interception.
Mark Smith now is in at running back. The Rebels have it at their own 13. Near hash. The give is to Smith. Smith hit at the line of scrimmage. Nothing. Second down. No gain. Alundis Bryce was named Football News second team All-America this week. He has 2 interceptions in the ball game. It's second down and 10 for the Rebels from the 13-yard line. Greer and Leasley sniffed that one out. Talk about missing a player. He's missing Mr. Bryce as well. Second and 10 from the 13-yard line. 5:06 to go here in the third quarter. Clock running. Josh Nelson trying to change the play. 8 seconds, 7 seconds on the play clock. Takes the snap, fumbled the snap momentarily. Swings a pass far side to Boris Fisher. Cannot catch it, out of bounds. Little out route. That's that long out. It's a difficult pass to complete. What they're trying to do is isolate one of the receivers one-on-one, let him turn into a running back. Alundis Bryce now tied with Junie Hobius for 5th place all time in career interceptions. The most, Bobby Wilson had 20 from 1946 to 49. Alundis with 14. Rebels 5 of 12 on third downs, 3rd and 10 here at the near hash. Nelson back to throw, has time, far sidelines, nope, incomplete. He had Roel Preston open at the 28 on an out route and led him too much. Roel got tangled up in one of the sidelines wires on the Mississippi State side, and he is shaken up, and they're calling the trainer for Ole Miss, Leroy Mullins, across as the Rebels are in punt formation. So Alundis got his feet tangled in one of the sideline wires. May have been Jackie Sherrill's headsets or one of the coaches' headsets.
I've never understood why there has to be that many wires on the sideline. I mean, who are they communicating with? The guys upstairs? I don't know. Tell you what, this fog is really getting bad. Look at that fog as you look between here and the lights on the far side of the field now.
On field level, though, it looks like it's lifted just a little bit, or maybe because it's getting darker, we're being able to see a little bit better. Roel Preston is being helped across the field, walking on his own power, though. Walter Grant will punt from the end zone. 4:45 to go, third quarter. Mississippi State 21, Ole Miss 17. The second quarter is where all those points were scored. From the 13, 4th and 10 for the Rebels. State shows a 10-man rush. Still have not gotten Roel Preston across the field yet, and they're fixing to let him snap it. Now they say, wait a minute, guys, we got to get this injured man over here. Bernard Ewell's deep to receive for Mississippi State, standing at his 46. State shows a block. They want to block it. The Rebels have had trouble with that in the past, but not since Grant has been punting. Waiting for the snap from Vincent. There it is. Walter Grant gets it away. A wobbly, not very good kick, not very deep. Hits at the 43 of Ole Miss, rolls back to the 41, and is down there. Mississippi State will have outstanding field position. So the Rebels dodged the bullet by getting the interception, but could not move it offensively. Now Mississippi State gets it back. Pretty good position after only a 28-yard punt. Let's check with Stan along the sidelines, see if he can find anything on Roel.
Well, you're right, Dave. He did get twisted up in some wires or a part of the chain over there, and he appears to be okay. Rebels could ill afford to lose him already without LeMay Thomas, who has a slight concussion.
Third possession of the quarter for Mississippi State from the Ole Miss 41-yard line. Far hash, movement along the line. No flags, though. Option, Tate. Gets inside the 40 to the 37, it appears. Ed Fortson drops him there. A gain of 4 yards. Second down and 6 for Mississippi State. It was an option to the near side, the right side. 4 minutes, 16 seconds, clock running. Second down, 6 for the Bulldogs from the 37. I formation for the Dogs with McCrary and Davis. From the Rebel 37-yard line, now Ewell goes in motion to the far side. Tate takes the snap, gives to Davis, left-hand side, and he's dropped at the 34. We'll get 3 out of it. One of the few times he didn't get 6 or 7, Lyman.
Yeah, they look like they're taking a different approach to tackling him. They're trying to hit him a little bit lower. You're just not going to knock him down, hitting him up around his shoulder pads or in the chest. You're going to have to hit him low and hopefully tie up his feet.
Third down and 3 for Mississippi State after the 3-yard gain to the Rebel 34. Ball on the far hash. Rebel fans want the defense to hold. State is 3 of 6 on third downs. I formation. Ole Miss stacked in tight. No wideouts for State. In motion goes McCrary. There's the give to Davis. Sweeping to the left-hand side. First down to 30 to the 25 and knocked down at the 21-yard line of Ole Miss. He just would not be denied as Lowry and Jackson saved the day downfield, but Davis, a little hurdling move there to get to the 21.
Now here again, they're running off their left side. That's where they feel like that they've got, I'm sure, their best blocking.
13-yard gain for Davis. Davis 116 yards on 11 carries. Bowie has 92 on 16 carries. From the 21, first and 10 for the Bulldogs, 2:58 to go. State threatening, leading 21-17. One back in the backfield for the Dogs. Receiver wide right. Man on the far side comes in motion to the near side. Movement. Flag is thrown. I think the Rebels jumped off. It's to Davis, who's sweeping right and is pulled down as he lowers his head and dives to the 17. He will have 4 yards on the pickup, but flags on both sides of the field.
Well, I feel sure that the Ole Miss was offside. They jumped across the man on the far side did.
It is offsides against the Rebels. Sidney Carmichael lined up on the right side, tried to time the snap and get across and could not do it. So the Bulldogs will wipe off the 4-yard gain and take the 5-yard penalty to the 16-yard line. It'll still be first down and 5 for Mississippi State. Ole Miss with 6 penalties, 60 yards in the ballgame. 2 receivers come wide right in the slot. From the 16 of Ole Miss, first and 5 for Mississippi State. 2:28 to go, clock running. Bulldogs 21, Rebels 17. Ewell in motion to the far side. There's the snap. Tate gives to Davis. Davis hits the middle, hit at the 14 and ridden down at the 14-yard line, maybe the 13, depending upon the spot. 2:08 clock running. On the tackle, Huck Ferguson, Ed Fortson, Wicker there as well. They're spotting it at the 13. So a gain of 3. Second down and a long 2 for Mississippi State from the 13.5. I formation for the Bulldogs. Ball at the far hash. There's the snap. The give is to Davis. He's around the left side. Hit and driven out of bounds somewhere around the 10 or 9. They're going to put it right on the 10. It's enough for the first down, a 3-yard pickup, and the Bulldogs will have first down and goal from the 10. Stan, I want to know if the ground is rumbling when these guys are running.
I'll tell you what, it trembles a little bit. When the offensive line comes set, it shakes. And then when those backs move, it rumbles. You're right. They have got probably one of the best offensive lines in the league, and they do a superb job of blocking, excellent on run blocking. And those backs know exactly where to go.
1:37 to go in the third quarter. 21-17 Mississippi State. State has the ball, first and goal at the 10. Got to score a touchdown, can't get the first down. Option to the near side. Tate hit as he throws it on the ground. It's loose, and it's recovered again by the Rebels. Third time today that Mississippi State has coughed it up in the scoring zone. Stacy Wilson lands on the football, and not a good play by Tate. We've seen really two unwise plays out of Derek Tate, Lyman. The interception he just threw up for grabs, he was wrapped up around the ankle, should have never made that pitch.
Never should have made the pitch. As a matter of fact, the play should have never been called. All you do is head it to your big back, let him run to the left, pick him up 4, 5, 6, 7 yards, and take it on in. So I don't understand.
I'm with you. Why pitch when all you got to do is hand and let them go? From the 14, first and 10 for the Rebels at their own 14. 1:29, the Rebels dodge another bullet. There's Dew Innocent off the right side of the 15 to the 19, then driven back. He will have 5 yards as Gamina and Harris combine on the stop. Stan, what do you think? He should have held that ball, looked like.
Well, it's one of those things where you outthink yourself again. David tried to cross the Rebels up, it looked like with an option right side, and it was a bad pitch. Davis never got a handle on it, and you really could have been called one of those forward passes. Like, to me, it looked like he threw it with over the top of his hand. Rebels got a good break.
2nd and 5 from the 19. Dew Innocent unofficially has 103 yards on 16 carries. Needs 87 more for 1,000. There's a give in the backfield to Dew. He's in trouble here. Kind of bobbled it and then dropped at the 16, so he'll lose some yards. 3rd down coming up. Miles and Greer combine on the stop. They'll put it at the 17, a loss of 2. So 3rd down and 7 for the Rebels from the 17-yard line. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. There'll be one more play this quarter because the play clock's about 5-6 seconds ahead of the game clock. 2 receivers go wide right, Preston and Fisher. 3rd and 7. Ball at the near hash at the 17. One back in the backfield is Dew Innocent. Back to throw is Nelson. Swings it out to Dew Innocent. Innocent one-on-one to the 15, to the 20, down the sidelines and out of bounds at the 24-yard line, and he's got the first down, it appears, if they spot him right. James Harris on the tackle. What an effort by Dew Innocent. He had to beat his man one-on-one to the stick, and it's a first down for Ole Miss. Needed 7, got 7.
None to spare.
Clock stopped with 6 seconds. One more play this quarter, more than likely. 1st and 10 for the Rebel 24. Ole Miss trailing 21-17. State has thrown an interception and a fumble deep in Ole Miss territory. Lee May is back in wide to the left, slot to the right. Ball's at the far hash of the 24. One back is Dew Innocent. 5 men across the front for State. Nelson takes the snap, gives to Dew. Dew is upended, dropped at the 27 as the quarter comes to an end. That's a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 when we come back. We go to the final quarter. It's Mississippi State 21, Ole Miss 17. Back after this 1-minute break for your local sponsors. Minutes on the clock. We've got 1 quarter to play. David Kellum, Lyman Helms, and San Sandrone with you at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. It's Mississippi State 21, Ole Miss 17. The Rebels have a 2nd down and 7 from the 27-yard line. One back in the backfield. for the Rebs is Dew Innocent. There's a snap. Nelson to throw. Underneath the Roel Preston. Preston heads to the far sideline to the 30, to the 35. He's got room. He's to the 50. One man can get him. He's to the 30. He's to the 20. He's gone. Oh, no. He's out of bounds. They say he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. He tried to tightrope the sidelines, just got a little nudge at the 15, and it's 1st and 10 for the Rebels for there. Whoa. Lyman, he cut back. It was that underneath route we've seen where they cut underneath, and he put on the brakes and headed to the far sidelines. A little wrinkle in that play.
He really did. It's so reminiscent of the long touchdown run that Lee May Thomas made in the second period, but a big gainer. We thought he had scored. Of course, we can't tell from this side, but he stepped out of this side at the 15-yard line, so it'll be 1st and goal from that point.
58 yards for Roel Preston. Walker Jones now is in for Preston, the freshman from Jackson. He's wide out to the left in a slot. There's a give to Mark Smith. Smith picking his way in trouble, stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain. So 2nd down for Ole Miss.
Well, State had that one sealed off. He kept running along the line of scrimmage trying to find a hole, and there was nothing there.
Mark Smith had 28 yards rushing and 28 yards receiving against Mississippi State last year, and he's playing gallantly. His elbow is really, it was basically dislocated.
Yeah.
And he was having such a wonderful season, and he's done a super job in fighting back, but he's not the Mark Smith that we knew of earlier in the year. From the 15, 2nd down and 10 for the Rebels. There's a snap. Here comes a blitz. Nelson to throw. Lots of time. His pass is batted down at the line and almost picked off. It was popped up in the air, batted by the Rebels, or by the Bulldogs, and nearly picked off as it landed on the top of the ground. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Rebels from the 15. Big play right here. Ole Miss, 340 yards of offense after 3 quarters. Mississippi State, 396. Josh Nelson, 16 of 31, 244 yards. Tate, 9 of 15, 167 yards. Josh Nelson now, we have him 303 yards with the pass here in the 4th quarter to Preston. 3rd down for the Rebels. From the 15, 3rd and 10. Nelson to throw, near side. Oh, it's dropped by Lee May Thomas at the 7. Hit him on an out route. He was going to catch and turn and had the 1st down, but could not hold it.
Well, those are things that really keep an offense from moving on. But this is something you don't coach. You don't coach throwing interceptions. You don't coach fumbling. You don't coach throwing or dropping passes and that sort of thing. But it's going to set up a field goal for Ole Miss.
It'll be at the 21, 31-yard attempt for Montz to cut it to 1 if he connects. There's the snap, and the kick has the distance, and it is no good. He missed it to the right. Timmy Montz has missed 2 field goals, Stan, and you were right under the goalpost.
Well, if I'd have called that one, it would have been good. But the official called it bad, wide to the right. I disagree, but I'm not the referee.
Oh.
Well, what he did the last time that he missed the one is he missed it to the left. I feel sure that he was thinking that, and he says, I need to bring it in a little bit further to the right and hook it in, but it's no good.
So missed the 31-yard attempt with 13:51 to go in the final quarter, and Mississippi State dodges the bullet, gets it back at the 20.
I know that, Roel Preston is coached not to ever slow down, but he had a wall of blockers in front of him. One man he had to beat. Had he slowed down and let his interference catch up and knock that tackler down, he would have scored.
Boy, tough break for the Rebels because Ole Miss had the great run out of Roel and just barely was out of bounds where he would have scored the go-ahead touchdown. Then the drive stalls, the field goal slides right, although Stan Sandroni directly under that goalpost said he thought it was good. Doesn't matter.
No.
He doesn't get to call them.
The paper tomorrow will say it's no good.
Mississippi State's 4th possession of the second half from the 20. Bulldogs have 1 back in the backfield. They give us to Bowie, the lone back. He gets to the 23 and then is wrapped up and pulled down right there, a gain of 3. Bonner, Jones, and Abdul Jackson combining on a stop. 2nd down and 7. Last time an Ole Miss quarterback passed for 300 yards was Russ Shows against Memphis State in 1990. Josh Nelson at 303 we have unofficially. Boy, Timmy Montz came in, the record in the season for field goals, 15. Montz had 11 coming in. He's got 1. He'd be close to a record had he made them all today. He had 2 field goals last year against State. From the 23, 2nd and 7, option near side. There's the pitch to Bowie to the 25, to the 20, let's see where they mark it, 29-yard line, shy of the first down, 3rd and 1. Good option play, the short side of the field, the near side.
I bet you the play comes to the left side this time. What do you want to bet?
6-yard gain. It's all of a sudden now raining, and raining pretty hard as the fans are scrambling to put on their rain jackets. A few umbrellas pop out. Those things are illegal, so they must have snuck them in, huh? Or maybe with the wet weather, they let them bring them in today. From the 29.5, State only needs just some inches to get the first down. 3rd down at about a half a yard. The give is to Bowie. He's got the first down, and to the 35, to the 36, in fact, for the first down. Gain of 7. They put it at the 35, making it a gain of 6. Jackson and Fortson combine on the stop. 12:22 to go in the game. Mississippi State 21, Ole Miss 17. Both Bulldog running backs now at the 100 mark. 107 for Bowie, 122 for Davis. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 35. Ball at the near hash. Wide out right goes Eric Moles. He is one-on-one with Alundis Bryce. One back in the backfield is Bowie. Rebels show 5 across the front. There's the snap. The give is to Bowie to the left side, short side of field, hit and driven down and out of bounds after a 2 or 3 yard pickup, and that's all. Bonner and Jackson on the tackle. The clock stops with 11:58 to go in the final quarter. See where they officially put it down. It's going to be at the 37, so a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8 for Mississippi State. Well, you'd think this rain might knock out the fog, but it's not doing it. It's just making it worse. Foggy, gloomy-looking field here in Oxford. Offset eye in the backfield on 2nd and 8 from the State 37. Moles goes in motion to the far side. There's the snap to give us to Bowie off the right side. Nice hole, the 40, 42, maybe the 43. It'll bring up a 3rd down. Power football out of the Bulldogs right now. Antonio Bonner made the stop.
Well, I think they smell victory right here. There's less than 12 minutes to go in the game. They're up by 4. They can run the clock. If they can continue to make first downs, it's going to be tough for the Rebels to come back.
6-yard gain. 3rd down and 2, and State's going to burn a timeout. So with a timeout, 11:32 to go in the final quarter, 21-17 State. We'll be back after we hear from your Ford dealers and Commuter Group. Mississippi State has a 3rd down and 2 from the Bulldog 43, leading 21-17, 11:32 to go in this football game. I formation for the Dogs. 7 men across the front for the Rebels. Man in motion. There's the snap. The give. Bowie sweeping to the left side, trying to turn the corner. Pushed to the 45 and out of bounds. He's right at the stick. If he gets the favorable spot, he'll have the first down. It was Davis, not Bowie. Derek Jones, Abdul Jackson there. Jones was trying to pull him down before he got there, Stan, but he just didn't have enough.
Tell you what, that guy, we've talked about it all along. It is a first down. They've got exceptional speed for guys that size. They pack power and speed. Rebels almost forced him out of bounds, but they did get the first down.
To the 46. So a gain of 4, or rather a 3, and a first down for Mississippi State. Clock continues, or the clock stopped with him going out of bounds. 11:25 to go in the ball game. 21-17 State. No score in the second half as of yet. All the scoring came in that wild second quarter. There's a give upended at midfield to the Rebel 49 is Michael Davis. Another nice run. Abdul Jackson on the tackle. So that's a 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5 for Mississippi State, now in Rebel territory. This drive started at the Bulldog 20 after a missed 31-yard field goal by Timmy Motts. State at the near hash at the Rebel 49, offset eye in the backfield. 6 across the front for the Rebs. Derek Tate takes the snap, gives to Bowie. He's inside the 45 to the 43 and has another first down. This offensive line just shoves our guys 2 yards downfield, and the running back is not hit till 3 yards downfield more times than not, and then drives 2 more yards, and that's just been the story. So at the 43-yard line, a gain of 6 and a first down for State. 10.5 minutes to go. Rebels need a stop. They need a break. Nakia Greer is in the backfield at fullback with Kevin Bowie for Mississippi State. First down at the Rebel 43. Moulds in motion to the near side. There's the snap. Give to Bowie. Breaks an initial tackle inside the 40 to the 39. Rebels are having trouble bringing him down originally as Jackson and Carmichael make the tackle. This will be a gain of 4 at the 39. 2nd down and 6 for Mississippi State. All just shy, actually, of the 33. It was about a 4.5-yard gain. 125 for Bowie, 130 for Davis as they continue to mount up the numbers. Clock running, 9:42 to go. State 21, Ole Miss 17. I formation, 2nd down and a short 6 from the 39. There's the snap, play action. Tate back to throw, swings his pass, dropped by the fullback McCrary. Out of the backfield, hit him right in the number. He wears number 6 lineman, and he hit it right in the circle of the 6, and he couldn't hold it.
And here again, why throw?
I knew that was coming. Maybe they feel like they can get it on 3rd down and 5 running.
Maybe so. Well, they probably can, you know.
State is 5 of 9 on 3rd downs. The Rebels need to hold. The Ole Miss fans coming to their feet. 21-17, Mississippi State at the 38.5 of Ole Miss with a 3rd down, about 5.5 for a first. I formation. Bowie at the near hash, trying to change the play. Play clock at 4 seconds, 3 seconds, takes the snap, rolls out to his right, steps up, has the first down inside the 35 to the 33. Did it on his own. It does appear if he gets a mark, and he does. I think he's got the first down. Fortson makes the tackle. A good offensive lineman has to make the grade before he makes a team. That's why the number 1 lineman is recognized by Mississippi's number 1 long distance company, the Commuter Group, where service is more than long distance. It is a first down for the Bulldogs at the 32-yard line. So a 7-yard gain for Tate. 24 first downs for Mississippi State, 18 for Ole Miss. From the 32 of the Rebels, 1st and 10. 8:58 to go in the ball game. Clock running, I formation. Tate takes the snap, back to throw, looking, pumps it once, one-on-one with Jones, far side, he's got him, incomplete. Throw was a little bit high, turned toward the sidelines along the 12. Alundis Bryce was there. That was a catchable ball, it appeared at least. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Now, Stan, this SEC update is brought to you by your Mississippi Ford dealers. This afternoon, Florida and Florida State tied 31-31. Tennessee defeated Vanderbilt 65-0, and LSU has defeated Arkansas over in Little Rock 30-12. This update brought to you by your local Ford dealers.
Well, we had 85-0 earlier. 65-0 sounds a little bit better, I guess. 2nd down and 10 from the 32 for State. Option to the near side. Tate is hit in the backfield, breaks the tackle, then pulled down at the 31. Fortson is there, along with Alvin Herman, getting some playing time now. So a gain of a yard. It will be 3rd down and 9 for the Bulldogs. Well, they put it right to 30, make it 3rd down and 8. Give him 2 yards. I didn't think he got that far. Can the Rebel defense hold here? Got to stop the Dogs. Clock rolling with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Mississippi State leading 21-17. From the Rebel 30, 3rd down and 8. Offset I in the backfield. 5 men across the front for the Rebels. There's the snap. Tate is back to throw, being pressured. Steps up, dumps it. He's got his man. Incomplete. Is dropped at the 22-yard line. A little dump pass in the key of Greer, and Greer dropped it. Should have had it right in his hands. That's 2 drop passes by the Bulldogs. And 4th down now. And State will send out the field goal unit as Tim Rogers will try to connect on this one. On the year, he is 11 of 18, his longest 43, and this one is 47 yards, places the 37, so it will be his longest of the season if he connects. There's the snap, it's high. The kick is on its way, and it's way short, looks like, and wide to the right.
How can you tell?
I just guessed. You could tell it was short, and then the official was leaning out as the way I judged it. I sure didn't see by the drive of the ball, that's for sure. Well, he missed the field goal. The Rebels still alive, Lyman.
Yep. They're down by 4. A field goal. They've missed 2 field goals in this half, and Mississippi State has missed 1. Neither team has been able to come up with a touchdown since the second period when we had that big explosion. State having 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Ole Miss 2 and a field goal.
So the Rebels take over at the 30. Trailing 21-17. Nelson to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Breaks 1 tackle. In trouble and then dropped at the 31. He had Lee May Thomas wide open deep. Stand and just could not get set to throw it.
Well, one thing, he didn't have much time as he got into that pocket. They were converging all around him, and I think he was looking in that direction, David, but did not get the opportunity to throw the football. Mississippi State has given up the most points all season in the 4th quarter, 75. So maybe that's a good sign for the Rebels, who've moved the ball pretty well here in the 4th quarter.
A gain of 1, 2nd and 9 from the 31. We owe you a station ID. We'll try to slip that in a moment. Ball at the near hash. Mark Smith, the lone back. There's the snap. Nelson gives to Mark Smith. He comes to the near side, to the 30. Stiff arms the man to the 35 and high steps out of bounds at the 36. A gain of 5 will make it 3rd down and 4 for Ole Miss's Walt Harris pushes him out. We owe you a station ID. Let's pause 10 seconds here for station identification. Seven minutes, 4 seconds to go in the game. Big play right here. 3rd down and 4 for the Rebels from the 36-yard line, their own 36. 1 back, 2 receivers wide left, ball near hash. Nelson back to throw, lots of time. His pass is dropped by DeMorris Fisher on an out route at the 41. The pass was lazy, didn't have enough on it to get out to him. He had to dive for it, couldn't pull it up. 4th down, the Rebels apparently will have to punt. Bernard Ewell deep to receive for State. Walter Grant in punt formation. Oh, it was far enough. It just pass didn't get there. State shows 9 men across the front. Waiting on the snap. Benson snaps it back. It's a good one. Grant gets it away off the side of the foot. Very poor punt. Hits and rolls out of bounds at the Mississippi State 40. So the Bulldogs will have excellent field position, and Walter, since becoming the punter 2 games ago, is having his worst day. A 24-yard punt. Now then, your concern is with Mississippi State's 5th possession of the second half. There's 6:52, which appears to be a lot of time, but the Bulldog offense can really grind it out if they pick up some first downs. State leading 21-17. That was the halftime score, and the Bulldogs have the ball back.
I think you'll see Mississippi State's backs running with 2 hands on the ball now. They can't afford to turn it over.
There's the snap. The give is to Davis. Davis hit in the backfield by Alvin Herman, and he's pulled down for a loss. Helped out by Antonio Bonner, is back to the 36. A rare loss. In fact, the only of those 2 big running backs, a loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Stan, that was nice to see some breath of fresh air from Mr. Herman.
Nice defensive play right there. We've got Mr. Ben Williams. Ben, what do you do in a situation like if you're a lineman? You go in for the ball?
Yeah, you go in for the ball. You know, what you don't want to do is give him a big play. You want to make him grind it out, give him 2 or 3 yards, and just kind of hold him down there.
2nd down and 14 for the Bulldogs from their own 36. 6:10 to go. Tate is back to throw. Screen pass is underthrown. He threw it at the knees of Davis. Incomplete. So 3rd down for the Bulldogs. Rebel fans coming to their feet. They want to stop here on 3rd and 14.
You better put a couple of men on Moles this time.
6:06 to go in the game. State 21, Ole Miss 17. Big play right here. The Rebels need to get the ball back. Offset eye in the backfield. Moles is wide left, one-on-one with Derek Jones. There's a snap. Tate back to throw. Going deep over the middle, and it is overthrown. Way overthrown by 5 or 6 yards. Incomplete, and Mississippi State will have to punt. Let's check with Stan Sandroni.
Well, the Rebel players will say we want one more shot. One more shot, and they came up with a play. The first play in this series was when they dropped him for a loss, and now the Bulldogs got the punt, and this offense will get one more shot. David, plenty of time left, 6 minutes in the ball game.
6 minutes. Tate in the second half. 7 incompletions, 1 interception, and 1 completion for 28 yards. That's the passing numbers. Punt formation is Russ. He gets it away. Nice high kick. It hits at the 30, takes a State roll to the 20, to the 15, down the near sidelines, all the way down to the 12. What a break for Mr. Russ. Our attendance is 36,521. Not a sellout, 36,521 the attendance.
I tell you what, I know you don't want to field the ball, you know, deep in your own territory, and there's a lot of fog down there, and I don't know how well they can see, but that's one time that you should have fielded the football. It's, you know, you ever let it hit the ground, it gets that forward kick, particularly on artificial turf. Luckily, we don't have that today.
52-yard punt. Rebels start at the 12 with 5:47 to play in the game, trailing 21-17. Back to throw is Nelson. He's got time. He's going deep for Lee May Thomas. Overthrew him about 5 or 6 yards, and he had his man beat. He had Walt Harris on his hip, but the pass sailed high and incomplete.
I'm going to tell you what, the boy can fling the football. He threw that one down to the 30-yard line. Where was he?
Standing on around his own 4, I guess.
Around his own 4 or 5 yard line.
Clock stops with 5:41 to go. 21-17 Mississippi State. 2 receivers wide left. Preston the furthest out. Lee May is wide right. There's the snap. Nelson back to throw. Rolls out to his right. Looks downfield. Fires to Lee May Thomas. One hopped it. Incomplete. It bounced at the 25. And Lee May came back to help him out.
Yeah.
And he was open, and Josh underthrew it.
Well, you know, if you're a quarterback, you're trying to adjust all the time. Just like Tim Montz was trying to do with his field goal. Miss one to the left. Next time he tries to hook it, it stays out to the right. And so what do? You're just doing the best you can, of course.
6 of 16 Ole Miss is on 3rd downs. 3rd and 10 from the Rebel 12. 2 passes have gone incomplete. One back in the backfield is Stu Innocent. There's the snap. Nelson to throw. Looking far sidelines, and he threw it away. I mean, that wasn't even close. He had Preston on downfield another 10 yards, and DeMorris on an out route. That pass was not even close to anybody. I don't think he was throwing it away. It just sailed on him or something. So the Rebels will have to punt. Not a good pass at all out of Josh Nelson. Ronnie Colicchio is going to be the punter this time. He's standing in the end zone. 6th straight incompletion for Nelson rather. Colicchio has a 57 long and a 38.8 average. The junior from Plantation, Florida, Northwest Community College. There's the snap. Colicchio gets it away. Wobbly end-over-end kick. That's going to be fielded at the Ole Miss 45 by Ewell. Ewell is dropped at the 46 of the Rebels with 5:20 to go. And all of a sudden, Ole Miss in trouble. Mississippi State now can sniff it with 21-17 our score, and the Dogs leading by 4. State has the ball in Ole Miss territory with only 5:20 left to go. It'll be spotted right at the Ole Miss 40. 33-yard punt, 4-yard return for Ewell. Stan, I don't know about that last pass by Josh Nelson, but it just wasn't even close.
Well, nowhere near the receiver, David.
One back in the backfield, offset eye actually for Mississippi State. It's Kevin Bowie. There's the snap. The give is to Bowie. Straight ahead, following that wall of blockers, gets 5 yards to the 35, tackled by Ed Fortson.
They have run off that left guard. I'd like to see a chart of their play selection today, but running off that left side, they have not lost yardage all day. And as a matter of fact, I doubt seriously if they've gotten less than 4 yards.
Well, Wisner's 6'3", 327, the left guard. Left tackle James is 6'5", 316. Now, these aren't just big old fat boys that can't move either now.
No, they are
linemen with good feet. 2nd and 5 from the Rebel 35, 4:38 to go, clock running. Here's the snap. Give to Bowie. Tries the left side again and gets to the 32. A gain of 3, 3rd down and 2 for Mississippi State. Norman Hand on the stop. 4:18, clock running. Tony Buckhalter checks in for Mississippi State. Rebel fans trying to rally the Ole Miss defense as they come to their feet. 3rd and 2 for State from the 32-yard line of Ole Miss. Under 4 minutes to go, 3:55. Offset eye for the Bulldogs. Tate takes the snap, gives second man Bowie, and Bowie is dropped at the 31. He didn't get it. He got a yard, but didn't get both. 4th and 1, maybe 4-down territory for State. Or will they try to punt it in Coffin Corner, or will they try to stick a field goal on there?
Tell you what, it depends on the spot here, but he's getting a good spot. He may have the first down.
Jackson on the tackle for Ole Miss. 4th down and 1.
Okay.
But you're right. It was at the 31 originally. I thought they put it inside the 31, about the 30 and a half. So he's got about, what, 8 to 10 inches.
Yeah.
Because the first down marker is just inside the 30. Mississippi State indeed will go for it. The Bulldogs will try to get the first down on 4th at about half a yard. From the 31. There's the snap. Davis left side has it with ease to the 29. That has got to be almost a helpless feeling, Stan Sandroni.
Well, I don't know what more you can say. The game ball should go to Mississippi State's offensive line if they hang on and win it.
One of the Bulldogs is down and injured. We'll take a break and be back after this 60-second message for your local sponsors. Wisner, the left guard, is helped off the field. Mississippi State has at the Ole Miss 29, 1st down and 10. I formation. Give left side. Davis is down at the 33. They are 26 rather. They rolled the clock, said he didn't get out of bounds. Looked like he was out of bounds. The new guard in is Brad Ainsworth, 6'2", 316, a sophomore from Laurel. Steve Floyd, my spot over here, lineman, said that's an 11-pound loss from Wisner to Ainsworth, if that makes any difference. 327 to 316. The ball at the 26, a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Clock running with 2:10 left to go. State has it deep in Ole Miss territory. The Rebel 26 leading 21-17, trying to put this one away. There's the snap. Give to Bowie, straight ahead. He drives to the 20 and is close to another first down. They're going to spot him at the 21. A minute 50. Clock continues to roll. Should be a third down. He doesn't have the first. Has to get to the 19. Now a timeout by Ole Miss. We'll keep it here. And this is pretty much a must-stop situation for the Rebels. The Rebel defense coming off the stand looks absolutely exhausted.
Well, they have to be, David. You can say one thing about it. Both teams, particularly the Ole Miss defensive unit, they've been out on the field. They've done everything they possibly can to try to stop Mississippi State. They came with a different man front to start the ball game. Now they've gone back to their basic defense here in the second half. That's what Coach Dunn told them in the second half we're going to try to do, but nothing has been able to work. Mississippi State has just pounded the ball when they've got it in close on behind that big line, and when they've had to pass, they've thrown some, turnovers. They've stopped themselves, really, to be honest. They had 2 pass interceptions and 2 fumbles. Other than that, they've pretty much, other than one occasion, just been unstoppable.
Well, they've only had to punt the ball twice so far today, and that speaks volumes for your offense. Now, they have not really been a high-scoring football team this year, but they've played some pretty good opponents. And they got, I guess, they scored more points against Tulane, but they got about as many against Alabama as they did anyone else they played.
Third down and a long one for Mississippi State from the 20, or a short one, I should say. Got to get to about the 19 and a half. Minute 44 left. The Rebels just burned their first of 3 timeouts. Here's the give, left side, first down. And it's Michael Davis. Davis is to the 17. Nothing you can do. 4-yard gain. Derek Jones and Abdul Jackson combined on the tackle. They put it at the 18, make it a 3-yard gain. So first down for Mississippi State with a minute 38 to go. And the Bulldogs might be able to kill the clock now. Rebels can stop it 2 more times, but they're going to let it run this time. In the backfield is McCrary and Davis. State stacked in with 2 tight ends and a wingback. The wingback is in motion to the near side. There's the give to Davis. He's hit in the backfield as Michael Lowry on a blitz came up and got him and dropped at the 22. Timeout, Ole Miss. So that's a loss of 4. And you've got a second down and 14. If they spot it at the 22, let's see. They're going to put it at the 21, looks like. They will, so a loss of 3.
Well, you would expect them to run the ball this time, and if they don't make it, you kick a field goal. Certainly you're in range. That would put them up by 7. And put a lot of pressure on the Rebels. There's only a minute and 11 seconds left to be played in the football game.
Rebels stopped it with a minute 11. Ole Miss has 1 more timeout left.
Well, the last 2 possessions, Ole Miss has had 3 and out. They've had people open. The ball has not gotten to the receivers, which was just, really bad throws on the part of Josh Nelson. He played very well today. We're not trying to put him down at all, but quite frankly, he's had people open for scores here in the last couple of possessions, and he's not gotten the ball to them.
He's 4 for 16 in the second half, and his last 6 have been incomplete. Second down and 14 for Mississippi State at the Ole Miss 21. Leading 21-17 of the Bulldogs. There's the snap. The give is to Davis, right side. Lowers his head and just powers to the 19. Drop there, third down. 104, 103, and the Rebels stop the clock again. Bryce and Fortson combine on the stop. This was to the 19 or 18-yard line. Gain of 3. So third down for the Bulldogs. And 11 yards to go for a first from the 18. Really the 18 and a half, the 19. So it's about 10 and a half yards for the first down. Clock stopped with 1:03, 21-17. Mississippi State leads. Now then the Rebels need to hold here if Mississippi State runs a running play or a pass play that doesn't get out of bounds, doesn't get the first down, of course, they get the first down, the game's over. But if they don't get the first down, the clock will run, and State can take it down another, you anticipate, 25 to 30 seconds. That'll give about a half a minute left, and the Bulldogs will have a fourth down play to decide what to do. I would imagine that on the Mississippi State sidelines, you got the Rebels pinned this far back. You don't do anything crazy here, try to throw the pass, but just run the ball, let the clock roll on down. Ole Miss is out of timeouts, and then on fourth down, maybe run it again.
That's right, because don't take a chance on getting a field goal block or anything like that.
Third down give, left side Davis spins and dropped at the 17, 57 seconds on the clock, and State will let it roll. They put him at the 17-yard line. That's not enough for the first down, a gain of 1. Fourth down for Mississippi State, 4th and 10 from the 17. Jones and Lowry along with hand tackle. Ole Miss cannot stop it. 38 seconds, 22 on the play clock. So that'll take it to what? 16? 15 now. 13, 12, 15 seconds is where the clock will stop on fourth down. The Bulldog fans coming to their feet as they anticipate what's taking place here. Mississippi State just letting it run on fourth down and 10 from the 17. Now the Bulldogs, instead of taking the penalty, well, there's a flag thrown in the backfield. They called a timeout. Did they get it before the flag or not? Apparently they did. The back judge over there picked the flag back up, stuck in his pocket. 15 seconds is where it would stop. So with 15 seconds left, it's fourth down for Mississippi State. And the Rebels will need a miracle. Well, this back-to-campus affair, this may be the first time the road team wins, pending a Rebel miracle. Mississippi State has it at the 17-yard line of Ole Miss with a fourth down and 10. It's about 9.5 actually, with State leading 21-17. Stan, a tough one for the Rebels. You know, you think about the 2 missed field goals, the opportunity when you got deep for the possible touchdown there, stepping out of bounds. But, hey, Mississippi State's lost the ball 3 times inside the scoring zone, too.
That's right. It's been a very unusual second half. As Lyman said today, you expect the unexpected. 38 points the second quarter, not a 1 in the third and the fourth. And both teams had chances. State had chances to put it away. As you mentioned, Rebels had a chance to win it. But it has not happened so far. And like you said, Rebels will take a miracle now.
15 seconds left. Let's see what Derek Tate elects to do. He will turn and give to Davis off the right side. Davis is pulled down at the 13 with 9 seconds. The clock stops with 9 seconds. And the Rebels will have it at their own 13-yard line with no timeouts, maybe 2 chances, and that's it. Jackson and Bryce on the tackle.
Well, you saw Michael Davis that time with both arms right tightly around the ball, running, getting just whatever he could, and still got positive yardage, but he was going to make sure that he didn't fumble that football. And Mississippi State's got their secondary way back out at the 40 and 45-yard line.
9 seconds to go. It's at the 12-yard line for the Rebels. They're on 12, trailing 21-17. Got to have a touchdown. Nelson rolls right. Now back into the pocket. He's going to run. He can't run. He's got to throw the ball. Throws it as he crosses the line of scrimmage. That'll be a flag with 1 second left. Josh Nelson is just not having a very good second half at all. He was well across the line of scrimmage, 6-7 yards, and threw it into the sidelines. You just got to throw the ball deep. There's no need to scramble, or you got to drop back and just throw it deep with only 9 seconds. And Josh there making the mental mistake. 1 second left. Rebels get one more opportunity. From the 11. The Bulldogs declined the penalty on the incompletion. Last chance for the Rebels. Back to throw is Nelson. Steps up in the pocket. He's going deep down the near side for Lee May Thomas, and it is incomplete. Mississippi State has defeated Ole Miss in Oxford 21-17 to maintain possession of the Golden Egg. Jolie Dunn will go across the field and shake hands with Jackie Sherrill as Mississippi State improves to 8-3, and the Rebels wrap up the season at 4-7. We'll be back with our post-game thoughts. We'll take a 2-minute break here from Budweiser, Exxon, and then 1 minute for your local sponsor.